Welcome to Dark Exodus.
Thursday, D.X.L. It's
Dark Exodus.
live.
Dark Exodus. Think about this. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. You understand? Dark Exodus. You understand? Dark Exodus. You understand? Dark Exodus.
and peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. What's good, folks? Tonight, y'all know Thursday night, D.X.L night, Dark Exodus Live. And on Thursday night, we try to have, some serious shit going on here. Tonight, I'm going to have my man Perfect Blackness going to be on tonight. And Mr. Palmer. What's good, brother Ricardo? All right, brother Perfect. I see you up there. What's good, Stoic? Brother Third Ward. What's good with it, man? Yeah, y'all know Thursday nights, we try to do some serious shit up here and talk about some serious shit. And tonight we're going to be talking about the chaos of custody and child support, something I know that most brothers who have children and find themselves not with their old mammy no more can relate to. It's something many of us brothers have been through. And tonight, like I said, my man Perfect Blackness and Mr. Palmer are going to be here, man. And we're going to chop it up about this here. And hopefully be able to give you brothers some advice on how to handle this whole child support, custody, the trials and tribulations and all that kind of stuff. I went through this too. Damn, I gotta switch these damn headphones, man. Them little headphones ain't working for me. Know what I mean? Hold on, y'all. Gotta put these other joints on, man. These motherfuckers keep falling on my ears. Yeah, so while I'm switching headphones, god damn it. Yeah, we're gonna chop it up, man, about the child support stuff, man. Like I said, it's something that many of us brothers have been through before. And if there's some ladies out there listen to some of these brothers is talking about, just maybe change your trajectory and how you deal with the brothers and the children. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, I had to switch headphones, y'all, because some other little headphones are just not doing it. But before we get started, as always, I always start the show off with thanking you, good folks. Thank you for your views, your subscriptions, your support, your likes, and definitely the coins that you drop on this platform. It is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. I can't say this enough. That's why I say this every time I come up on the air. The way you good folks, man, support this channel, man. The channel's growing. As always, it's because of you, because like I always say, man, you don't have to do it. You don't have to watch these videos. You don't have to show up to these streams every goddamn week, but you choose to do so, man. And I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm honored. I'm appreciative, man. And I'm humbled by it all. And I just want you good folks to know, man, that I appreciate you. I do. Even though I get up here and I talk shit about you and talk shit about your old mama and all that old kind of shit. But I do appreciate you. And I appreciate everything you do for this channel, for this platform, and ultimately for me. And I thank you. All right. All right. So let's get at it. I see my man Perfect Blackness is already here. Let me bring him up. Brother Perfect Blackness, what's good with it, man? He's muted. You muted, brother. But yeah, I know he said he gotta put his daughter down for the night. So
Oh, I'm back, brother. I'm back. How's it going?
hey, what's good? man? What's good with it?
Nothing
Now,
much, man. I had to put the little one to bed.
yeah. Well, let's get right into it, man. Cause many of us brothers, we go through this child support shit and custody shit. I went through it many, many years ago. Um, I sued for custody of my daughter. Had custody, full custody of my daughter. So I know what it's like to go through the trials and tribulations of custody and child support and all that kind of nonsense. And I think that when people hear it and talk about it, I think they're hearing it and talking about it on a surface level
Yeah,
because a lot goes into it. Time, money, missed days at work, the stress, all kinds of shit goes on, man. When fighting for your kid and fighting for your rights and fighting for the ability to be in your children's life and stuff like that, man. A lot goes into it. Um, so won't you go ahead and tell the folks what you've been through?
oh man. Um, I just put my daughter down. She's 8 years old. Me and her mother was married before she was born, so she was born definitely well within wedlock. You know what I mean? So it wasn't one of those. She got pregnant. We had to hurry up and do it. And I wasn't like that. We married, and then she came, and things didn't work out. Um, and I thought that things would be a bit more amicable, but they wasn't. In the first going, it was okay because at the time, fresh out of a marriage, and getting my we agreed upon a then parenting time schedule, which allowed me to give my daughter pretty much a pretty good deal of time. So we didn't, other than going through the courts. We didn't have to, wasn't a lot of hand wringing or anything like that about custody at that time. At least not at that time. It wasn't up until I started dating, and that's when a lot of the drama really started. Once I started dating, that was like the beginning of a hell, and that was, my daughter was about, I would say about one and a half when the drama, really started.
Mm,
And once, I think, because if I remember right, she saw me with a then, girlfriend. I wouldn't even call it. It's just somebody I was just seeing at the time, And oh, it was she threw a bitch, and next thing I know, I stopped seeing my kid for a while. I had to call and all that type of stuff. So, and then I had to file some petitions and all that to force into court, to force her to honor the agreement that we had and all that. And uh, even then, for a couple of years, things kind of cooled down, and that was because I kind of I said, you know what, maybe I don't want to let her see any of the women that I'm with or anything like that. So long as she didn't see any and didn't know of the women that I was dating, everything was cool. Once my daughter started getting a little older, where she can kind of conceptualize things a little bit more, she can be able to go home to her mother and say, yeah, daddy's got this girl, daddy got this girlfriend, I had this girlfriend, or this girl left as I was coming in, and all that type of stuff. And the fuckery began to get just worse, and it got into a point to where she was putting her hands on me, um, and I was paying actually more. I volunteered her to pay more than what the state, what I was supposed to pay. And I knew that, and that was more strategic on my part because I knew it was going to become a time that she was going to, pull them papers on me. But at that time,
mm,
I hadn't yet had to pay. She didn't put papers on me until she was about, I want to say, 6 years old, about 2, 3 years ago. She actually did that on, did the official thing. So it wasn't because I wasn't paying. I was paying. There have been some months that I didn't pay, but that wasn't until after, you know. Because if you're a black man, you're a black man, you're gonna go through some time to being jobless. That's just the way it is. So I don't want to take. I'm trying to do more of a abbreviated version of this, but it got to the point to where she had kept her away from me, for weeks on end. I would go a couple months without seeing her and all that type of stuff. So, and she wanted to move away. She wanted to actually move out of state. Now, according to our divorce decree and all that, she couldn't do anything like that. So she thought of a nice little scheme that she was going to accuse me of something, right? So she did. And the way that Illinois work and Chicago work, any type of thing that's being accused, any type of act, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. They halt custody, at least for that half of that you won't be able to get to see your kid until investigation ensues and all that other type of stuff. So to get past all of that, and then what she did with that first one, she tried to use the first one as an impetus to actually leave the county. And when I was cleared of all of that, and the judge told her, basically, no, you have to give him, because I had to get a lawyer. By that time, I had to get a lawyer, and the lawyer was like, well, she can't move out of the county because the state said, the divorce decree says she can't, she has to go through mediation. So not only did I win in mediation, I wound up getting more time with my kid in mediation. So, and once it began, every time it came to a point to where a judgment was going to be rendered, she would come up with another allegation, right? And so all during this time, the second one was the worst one. I went through about a year and a half of hell, right? So then during that time, right before then, when she put me on actual child support papers, I warned her. I said, now, I don't think that'd be the best idea, because you might wind up getting less than what I'm voluntarily giving you now. And sure as shit stinks, that's exactly what happened. She got less. The judge calculated my tax returns of the previous year, and said that she was going to get X, Y. And she told the judge, well, hell, he was giving me this. She was like, well, ma'am, I can't help that. This is what he's owed. And she had the unmitigated gall right outside the court to ask me, could I pay her the goddamn difference? I looked
Mm.
at she, she had the nerve to ask me, hey, could I go ahead and pay her? Could you just go in and give me the dip? No, I'm not going to do that. No. And then she
Wow.
got upset about the fact, because at first I was actually giving her the money in a money order. I stopped doing it. So I started sending the money to the collection agency in Carroll Springs, Illinois. The support. That's how they collect it out of your check and everything like that. They collect it out of your check. That's where it goes. So you can actually choose to fill out a little form and send it to them with the money order. So it went a few weeks, I think almost a whole month or so. She didn't get her money, and she was, harassing me. Was mad at me about getting on. So you have to talk to the state. I'm sending the money into the state, and she was really getting. She really, really got upset. So, and that was still during the time that she made her first allegation. And the second allegation come, which was the worst. Um, and I wound up with almost a year and a half where I had to go through supervised parenting and all this other type of stuff. I had to get another lawyer. I had to almost have. I think I had at that time I had like two lawyers, and I was actually paying for a fee for more for consultation. So I had to pay for all those lawyers, man. I'm damn near getting put out my home, trying to keep my relationship with my kid intact, and all the other shit until the DCFS here in Chicago got finished with their investigation and all that shit. So the police got done with their investigation. DCFS got done with their investigation. And was like, okay, yeah, this shit is unfounded. So I'm getting right back to a time to where the judge is about to make another judgment, right? So, and then she comes up with one of the most ridiculous allegations that you can even think of. That allegation took only less than a month for them to clear me on, right? So, and all during this time, it's just a goddamn headache. Now I don't have to worry about that no more. I think she might have been told that she can't really do no more allegations because she could mess around and well, the way I've got my life protected now, she makes any allegation, she will mess around and go to jail. Whereas before, I didn't listen to that attorney. I didn't, prepare my home the way I should have, and I didn't spend the money that I really should have. Now I did, and I'm actually getting ready to buy another camera system. Because
Mm.
yeah, I had to invest in the camera system, man. And I got cameras all outside my home, inside that runs 24/7. So,
Mm.
so to protect myself, I had to spend that type of money, and I'm about to upgrade it with a whole with a much more expensive system. And I think, and this is one of the fucked up things about this whole ordeal, man. Um, I'm on my fourth attorney, and now the attorney that I have now, I think it's a mistake. And I'm gonna tell any guy that's listening to this, is going through this shit, man. Don't hire no female attorney. Hire you the biggest asshole male attorney that you can, because those attorneys they're gonna give you the best bang for your buck. They're gonna be more expensive. But don't go in there thinking that if I get a female attorney, then things will be a bit better for now. And that was a mistake that I made. That was a big mistake that I made because um my daughter has told me some things about their living situation, which I kind of already knew. But I'm at the point now that, I mean, doing anything about it now is going to be hard because my attorney, I have strong suspicions that my attorney has told her mother, or at least her mother's attorney, that I have cameras in the home. Because ever since that third allegation, that was the most ridiculous one, she hasn't made anything. She hasn't made any attempts to make any type of allegation whatsoever, any at all. But what she has done, and what I am suffering from now, is the shit that she fills my daughter's head with, and even my current wife now has to deal with this shit. She has to deal with it. And today it was an episode, that brought my wife to tears because it is the stuff that she repeats that her mother has filled her head with. Now that's all her mother has. I've defeated the things that I have defeated. Most guys probably would be in jail behind some shit that they didn't do. And there are a lot of men in prison behind shit just like this that they just didn't do. And because I was fortunate enough to be able to afford attorneys and to have the courage enough to fire attorneys in the process of this, and to be able to stand on certain squares and not be moved off of them, I was able to defeat that. And on the back end of this, I still give my kid now far more than most guys get, you know, and I'm kind of proud of that because, but it's still a painful process because every time my daughter, she's 8 years old now, so she's starting to really internalize a lot of the lies that her mother has been telling her, because her mother still gets her more, and she doesn't really do well for herself financially. They're living with her mother, with her grandparents who are hoarders, and it ain't much that my attorney really wants to do about it. I want to get another attorney, but I know if I get another attorney now, that's going to be more money, and I really don't owe this attorney that much more money, and I don't want to make any more attorney moves till I get done paying her off. So, man, look, man, it is an absolute ongoing nightmare in a lot of ways because I don't even talk to her mother unless we talking through what's called Talking Parents. It's an app that we both use, and it's the only way that I even trust to even speak to her, because if again she'll say that I'm stalking her, and she accused me of stalking. She accused
Mm.
me of all kinds of things, man, all kinds of shit, to the point to where I've had to have a hidden camera on my persons, man. I spent money to have a hidden camera pin, so when I went to go pick her up, she couldn't say that I was stalking her after the fact, all that type of shit. She would remember one time she called the police on me. After I picked her up, the police stopped me in the middle. We crossing. I'm crossing the street with me and my daughter, and I didn't even know. At least at that time, she had went down and put some type of bogus ass restraining order on me. And then 2 days later, after I picked her up, she called the police and said that I was stalking her after I picked my daughter up. And it was only because,
Wow.
yeah, it was only because my daughter was like, "Daddy just picked me up." And they ever, where did y'all go? Well, we just left the school. That was it. So, and they didn't do nothing about it then. And the funny thing about it, well, I won't say funny, but one of the most insulting things, I guess, for lack of a better word, is that women like her can continue to do shit like that and nothing ever happens to them. There's no, I mean, they got laws on the books about, they call it a parental interference. And they can get you up to a year in jail. I remember when they first passed that law here in Illinois, they can get a woman up to a year in jail. Since that law has been passed here in Illinois, she has held my daughter for me twice, to the point that where I had to go down to the police station. And only thing I can do is file a report, because the officer told me to my, the first time it was a female, told me to my face. She said, "Well, I mean, you can file it, but we're not going to do anything. It's just going to get prioritized away." That's exactly what she told me. She said it's just going to get prioritized. Basically, I can file the charges, but if they find something else, they get something else that comes along, they're just going to put it, put it up under. So she said my best bet is just to
Wow.
go down to the judge. So that meant instructing my attorney to file another motion in front of the judge to get her to honor the parental agreement. And the judge has always done nothing but just threaten. And trust me, I have begged the court for 50-50, showed the court that I have a more stable home, make more money. My daughter has her own room, her own wardrobe, her own everything over here that she does not have with her mother. Now the judge still asks me, why do you want 50-50? On top of all of that, judge asked me, why do you want 50-50? So, there's one of these things that I hate most. That when people, um, say that, hey, all you got to do is just go down and just go get your 50-50, as if we can just walk down there with no felonies, anything like that, and knock on the judge's desk and say, hey, judge, I want 50-50. Let's make that happen. It doesn't work that way. Now, I don't know how it works in the other state, but in Illinois, if a woman doesn't want you to have 50-50, she basically doesn't have to give it to you. She doesn't have to agree to it. It has to be an agreement. If she doesn't agree to it, now we're talking about a whole court battle. And if you can't afford that court battle, I'm sorry, bro, you ain't going to get your 50-50. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If the woman doesn't want 50-50, if she doesn't agree to it, it's going to be a court battle. And that means attorneys. And that means you got to get child reps involved. And if the child reps feels it's necessary, it's going to be a therapist. Right now, my child is seeing a therapist that she don't even need. She don't even need.
Wow.
And the courts asked me why won't I get involved, because they actually want me to go and participate in those therapy sessions. And I told the judge flat out. I said, unless you order me to do it, I'm not doing it. My daughter doesn't need therapy, and every day that she goes to that therapist, that just makes you are creating a mental problem when one did not exist at the beginning. And all you're doing just reinforcing the crap that her mother said. So there's nowhere in the world that I'm going to go, because number one, uh, 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 the therapist ain't gonna do nothing but charge me on the doggone therapy session. So I'm gonna go and pay for therapy sessions that my daughter, neither me nor my daughter needs, for what? And now I'm at the point now that, because I give my daughter a lot now, I'm at the point now, because I just got married, and look, I'm at the point, me and my boy, we want children. She's 25 years old, I'm 45. She wants children. I want more myself. I still want to be able to, I'm a Gen Xer. So I still relish being able to come home to a wife and kids, to a good wife and kids. So now the adjustment that I made is that before I met her, I was like, I'm never gonna, because I was at the point I wouldn't go marry again. I didn't want to be in another relationship until I met her. And after we met and we dated and everything was all good, and I don't make no apologies about it, man. And she's from South Africa. So I even if this doesn't work, I'm still not marrying or even dating another American woman. I just won't do it, because I'm not going through that shit again. I'm just not. I don't. I'm still pretty healthy. I'm in the gym all the well when the gym is open. I'm in LA Fitness all the time, so I'm pretty. I don't even look my age. I'm pretty much in shape, real good. So I got a lot of years left. I do a lot of mentoring, even outside of football and all of that. Coaching football. So I do all of that, man, and I got a lot to offer. But I'm not going to offer it to a woman who ain't gonna do nothing but just put me through this situation again. I don't think people really understand who's not going through whoever when you're not going through this through custody battles and child support. For those that say, because I've heard people say that people like myself, I can't speak for anybody else, but people like myself are doing nothing but just bitching about the system and why don't you just just rally and look, politics is not going to solve this issue. It's not. Because it's just the same thing with feminism. It's just because feminism created this shit. So we can sit and vote all we want. The only way that we can really get any headway into this issue of child support and all of that is just stop fucking with these bitches. Period. Stop fucking with them. Assume the worst and protect yourself from their asses. And the way you do that is that you don't grace them with your dick or sperm. Period. Don't grace them. And if you're a man and you dating a single mother, you are asking for trouble. You asking for trouble because you're putting yourself in a situation that where you may not be able to get out of, either legally or financially. You just won't get out of it, and it's just not worth your time. And as a Gen Xer, I would tell guys that are 21, 18, 19, I'll tell it, don't be fucking around with these bitches, man. Don't, because you're not going to do anything but just you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're not going to be able to get out of. So, child support, custody, that shit is a nightmare, man. And if you don't care for your kids, it's real easy for you to walk away. It's not. But if you're a guy like myself, when you really do love your kid, you're gonna go through some painful times. You're gonna go through it, man. And that's just the bottom line. It ain't about
Well,
picking the wrong woman or anything like that. Like I said, when I married her, I didn't know anything like this. She was the love of my life at that time. Go ahead.
well, I mean, I went through similar shit too many years ago. Fighting for custody of my daughter, and I'll get into that later because the shit they make you go through as a man is just ridiculous. Um, but when this happens, I've always believed that it's never really about the child, really. I think it's more about you. Um, when you go through these situations with these women, it's not like they're doing what's best for the child, because if they were doing what's best for the child, first of all, they wouldn't be running down the child support, because I went through it myself. The amount of money I was given, as far as my kid was concerned, damn near doubled what she was getting in child support at the end of it all. So I don't think it's about the money. I don't think it's about what's best for the child. I just don't. What I think it's about is torturing you. It's about stressing you, because women know they can go down to the courthouse and they got the judge on their side, they got the county attorney on their side, they got the administrative law judges on their side, the police on their side, the courts on their side. Everybody's on their side, regardless of how good of a. This is the thing, right? When I went to get custody of my daughter, and this was 20 years ago when I did this, and things were nowhere near the way they are now. But the reason why I wanted to get custody of my daughter is because, just like you, the living conditions. And I got a phone call saying that my daughter was walking in the middle of the street, right? At my job. Someone called me. So I jump in the car and I take off, right? By the time I get over there, the police are there and all these people are there, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take the baby, because she let the baby walk out into the road and all this kind of stuff." So of course I'm not gonna stand for that shit. That's my baby. I want to take the baby. Now they don't want to give me the child right then and there, right? They don't want to do that. So they're like, "Oh, you have to, file." for custody. And her mother was doing all kinds of crazy shit. I could sit up here all night and explain that shit. But anyway, so I go, and at the time, I'm working. I have my own place. All right. I have a condo with an extra bedroom in it at the time. Making good money, life insurance, medical coverage, all that shit. And I go to court and I'm like, hey, look, I just want to get custody of my baby, and that's that. So they say, well, we gotta come and we gotta do a home investigation. And I'm like, wait a minute. This woman is doing all kinds of bullshit. She lets my baby walk out in the fucking street. She's like 1 year old. But you want to come and you gotta now investigate me. And let me tell you what they did. They came to my house. They walked around in my house, made sure the toilet flushed, made sure the lights came on, made sure, yeah, no bullshit. Made sure I had a place for the baby to sleep. They made sure that I had food in my refrigerator. I told them where I worked. They called my fucking job to make sure I really worked there.
Wow.
Asking all these kind of questions about whether or not I had health insurance, all this kind of bullshit Now, they made me go through all that. I had to hop through all them fucking hoops, right, to get custody of my daughter. But meanwhile, this woman is living any old kind of fucking way. She's not making nowhere near the amount of money I'm making. Nowhere near it. All right? Nowhere near it, Brother Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
My goddamn condo is bigger than the fucking house she's living in. And they're still trying to give her custody. They
Yep.
only want to give me custody. They only want to give me custody every other weekend. I'm like, wait a
Mm-hmm.
fucking minute. I am obviously better situated for this. And they only gave me custody. They gave me custody every other weekend for the first 6 months. Now, the only reason I ended up with custody of my child is because she fucked up and wasn't letting me see the child. That's the only reason why I got it. She's supposed to bring me the child, nothing happened. So I said, okay, I went back to the court. They said they was going to order her to give me the visitation. She didn't do it. So that went on for a couple months. Now, eventually what happened is they eventually sweared out a warrant for her and made her come to court. And she acted like such a goddamn fool up in there. That's how I ended up getting full custody instead of 50-50. I ended up getting full custody. And the only reason why I ended up getting full custody is because she came in there and acted damn fool at the court proceeding after having a warrant sworn out for her, after denying me visitation to my child for months and months. So that's the only reason why that happened. But I say that to say this. If a woman gets a child taken away from her, they will do everything in their fucking power to try to give this woman this kid back. Whether she smoked crack, whether the child's been beat, hurt, molested, all that, they will do everything in their power. And guess what? They won't come to that house and make sure that toilet flush or the lights come on or there's food in there. All she got to do is go to a couple bullshit programs and she'll get the kid back. But you, solid, make decent money, got your own place, got your own car, got health insurance, got a room for the baby, clothes for the baby, a refrigerator full of food. Nope. They want you to jump through all these other hoops. They need to call your job. They need to make sure you really work there and all this kind of bullshit. It's crazy, man, because for some reason, we still live in a time where they feel like a child is better off with its mother, regardless of what type of mother this child has.
Yeah.
That's where we are, man.
Well, I think that very situation, what you went through, and with them coming into your home, I went through a good deal of that when uh, uh, when I was getting more time, right? and they came to my home. They did all that type of stuff, and in order for me to, because the judge wanted me to justify why I wanted 50-50 and all that type of stuff. But I think for a while I used to think that very thing that it was because that there was some type of I don't know way of chivalry or something like that, that the child is best with the mother. I think that's more of an excuse now for the state. It's a built-in excuse. I think the family courts are really buttressed, really, really well with almost propped up by the child support system. I mean, think about it.
Mhm.
There are a lot of men like myself and you who probably should have full custody of the kid, but don't because of the assumptions and of the posture of the court. And but you think about it because child support is not really about the kid. I mean, the federal government guarantees states so much. They guarantee them money if they collect so much in child support and all of that. And when guys, that's why they make it so easy to go into the rears. They make it very easy and actually make it real hard to get out of the rears and all of that type of stuff. They always make these convenient clerical errors to make you to what he be taking your taxes years before or years after you really have already gotten out of the rears. A lot of guys just say fuck it. Without that child support system, you think about it. You got attorneys, you get judges get paid from this shit. They get paid extra. This is another reason why I was wanting Mr. Palmer on, because he can really speak to the real nuts and bolts of how this operates, of how judges actually get paid on this. Guardian ad litems and child reps are getting paid on this. Lawyers are getting paid on it, like my lawyer. It's a racket. This child support thing is an absolute racket. So they can't afford for good guys to just walk in and just on face value of the fact that the mothers are just rancid mothers and the fathers are just really good guys and they can prove it. And that, especially if they are a willing father, that's not going to be enough. That's just not enough. That's one of the that's I used to think that. I used to think, why is it that? Well, that's the reason why. Once I start getting a peek behind the scenes on this stuff of how much money of the billions of dollars that are being exchanged, I mean, it is an absolute racket. If any of this stuff actually go to the Supreme Court, um, I think I find it hard pressed that the family courts can be. That'll be one leg of the family courts that'll be kicked away, but it'll never go because no man in our position can actually pay for attorneys to take it all the way like this, because it is really patently. I mean, if you really think about it, if anybody know how the law works, it's one of the few courts. It's like the only court that operates in the fashion that it does. No other
Yeah.
court operates in a fashion like this, where guys' money just being taken just outright, and it doesn't even matter if it's best fit, which parent is the best fit for the child. This whole idea of what's best for this, that is so vague, and it's left up to so much interpretation that it never comes out. Again, if you're looking at it fairly, it'll never come out in the guy's favor if you just looking just what's best for the child, because it's not going to do that. They want you to continue to be
No.
paying that child support. That child support money, if it stops, that's a problem. That is money that is revenue that the state is losing. There's one extra person that is not paying child support, so therefore there is a problem. I had a coworker, man, I had a IT buddy that I used to work with just last year, and he was telling me that he got full custody, and his baby mother was just horribly on drugs, and they put his child in a temporary foster care hold. And he said, wait a minute, I'm here. I mean, he doesn't have any felonies, no crime history. For all intents and purposes, this guy's a nerd. But because the mother was on dope, he gave they did a blood test on his man for drugs and all of that. And it was still a process, and he still is subjected to I think he said like monthly meetings by a social worker. His kid is 12 years old now. He's been having his boy ever since the kid. I think he said when he was 4 years old, and he still has to be subjected to being visited by a goddamn social worker. And if he messes up in any iota, they're going to take the kid away, and the kid is going to be in the system. And every kid that's in the system, every dollar that the state pays for that kid that's in the system, either be it through welfare for the mother and child support, the federal government is going to match that shit. This is a money game. This is what it is. It's a money game. So, and there no amount of us guys getting together and saying, hey, let's go pay for a couple politicians. That ain't gonna do it. That shit that ain't gonna work. You know, because this shit is so is like I said, this is it's bigger than the NRA. They, and when it comes to black men, I think it was Judge Joe Brown said that and I think they did. There's another. See, that's why I wish I just got done texting Mr. Palmer that black men pay their child support more than any other demographic of people that pays their child support. Black men pay the most and pay the most on time, but we don't
That's
get
true.
we don't get. But let the world tell it. Well, you're on child support because because you're a deadbeat, and that's bullshit. Again, I'm a walking testament that most guys that are on child support are not on because they refuse to pay. A
Yeah.
woman can just go down and just put you on child support just on GP. Now,
Yeah.
some men strategically
Well,
do.
you're right. You're right. Black men do pay child support percentage wise more than anyone else. I mean, that's just a fact. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
and we pay on time more than
but like,
anybody.
yeah, but like you said, they equate you being on child support as you being a deadbeat somehow. Like, what do you mean? I mean, I'm paying. How am I?
Right.
How can I be a deadbeat without paying?
Or that
It's
you were
crazy.
put.
It's the
The
craziest
assumption is
thing,
that
man.
you were put on child support because you weren't paying, you weren't taking care of your kid, and that is just not the case. It's not the case. It's not the case. I can't tell you how many times I've been in court, and I don't know how any other courts is, but here in Chicago, it's kind of an open court. You can just walk in, you can hear everybody's case. You can just hear
Mm,
almost intimate details about what's going on in their case. Just go there and wait for your name to be called, and while you're waiting, you're hearing all kind of shit, right? So
hmm.
I can't tell you how many times that I've been up there in front of the judge for one reason or another when it comes to my whole saga. That when I was done being in front of the judge, the guys would come at me, man, be like, man, how did you get that time? How did you get that much time with your kid? What did you do? And when I tell them everything that they have to do and the money that they're going to have to spend, because a lot of guys say, hey, can you do this on your own? I would say, technically, can you do it on your own? Yeah, but you're not going to be able to do it on your own realistically because more than likely the mother is going to have a lawyer for one reason or another has been provided for her, or someone is going to be in that courtroom that's going to be of another body, say like a child rep who's supposed to be the child's lawyer, but they always wind up being the child's and the mother's lawyer. So
Mm,
you're fighting against that. So if you just go in there just on your merits because everything is right, you're a good guy, bro. That ain't good enough. And this
yeah.
goes all across all. I'm a black community guy, and I've had white guys, Hispanic guys, come up to me like, "Well, how did you do that? What did you do? What is your lawyer's name?" And I was like, "Well, this is my lawyer right here, and but this is what I had to do, man. I had to pay. I had to instruct my attorney to do this. I had to do research on this. Made her do this. It cost me to for this petition and that petition and this petition. And it was like you have to do. I've had guys literally walk away almost in tears when I tell them how much that I have paid since this whole saga. And I think I've said it before. $27,374 and counting in terms of lawyers fees and court fees since my daughter was 1 year old, since we divorced. And when I tell them that, when I see the look of dejection on their faces at the knowledge of what they realistically have to do, If that woman so much to say no, I want them to have every other weekend and supervised visitation. The look on their face, the what they have to do to get more. A lot of guys they just give the fuck up because they know they a lot of these guys are not getting paid what I get paid, and I almost got put out of my goddamn place a few times because I'm taking rent money to pay lawyers fees and all this other type of shit. That shit ain't cheap, man. It just doesn't just come because because you say it or because the law says you have a right to it. You having a right to
No.
something and you actually realizing that right are two different things. Two different things. When it comes to the mother, oh, just because the relationship ended, all manner of automatic things start taking place. She get all kind of benefits that she didn't even know that she even had a right to, and it just she got all kind of people, all kind of support groups, stuff that's paid by the federal government, some that's paid by the state government, all kinds of resources that open up like the goddamn Red Sea for the mothers. And she
Yeah.
realizes that hell, I can just get his child support. I can get on, and the people don't understand. Guys don't know that when your kid is when the child's mother is on any type of state aid, that's worse on you.
Yeah. Yeah. That hurts you.
That hurts you.
Yeah, it hurts
Even
you.
if you're a guy who can't afford, you got to make 10, 12 bucks an hour, 15 bucks an hour, and you can't afford it. You can't afford the insurance for your own self that your
Hmm.
provides, much less insurance for you and your kid. That shit,
Hmm.
man, that shit will break you. And I don't think people really understand just how much this stuff breaks men. There are men who have killed themselves, contemplated killing themselves. Mr. Palmer put a video up on his channel, on his YouTube channel, about this guy. Um, he went up and machine gunned the baby mother's house because they was keeping the kid from him.
Mm.
They finally wound up getting him, but he posted and said they gonna have to catch me and I'm gonna do all this. Now I don't condone that. I don't recommend that, but I have to say I understand it. I definitely understand what would drive a man to do that type of stuff because they just want to be a part of their kid's life.
Yeah, well,
As well as fucking them around and everything.
the system is so backwards because I watched a couple of those videos
No, I
on
honestly think,
on
brother.
Mr. Palmer's,
I
and
honestly think, brother, that the system. Can you hear me?
yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. I was just gonna say that I think the system is working exactly as it is intended.
Mm.
I don't think it's any accident. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't think it's
there's
I don't think it's backwards. I think it's working exactly as intended in
yeah,
this
but
respect.
I watched a couple videos on Mr. Palmer's channel, right? I watched a few of his videos, and one that really stuck out. I mean, a few of them was quite insane, but one that really stuck out to me that was really insane. It was the old timer,
Yeah,
and the child had died,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they were still they were taking money out of his social security check, I believe, for
hmm
child support, saying he owed this
18
like
years of child support.
18 years of child support, thousands and thousands of dollars, and the child wasn't even alive anymore.
Child died in 1981.
And I'm like,
Child died in 81 or something like
th-
that.
no one could have made a
91 or something
phone
like that.
call and find out what was going on. You still trying to take money from this man for a child that is dead.
Yeah,
I mean, that in
long gone, dead.
that in itself lets you know that the system itself doesn't really give a fuck about the kids, man.
No, they don't.
Like
It's
you
all
said,
about collecting money from men. That's what it's
yep,
about. It's
it's
about
about
collecting
taxing
money.
men.
Yep. It's about collecting money from men.
Yep, when it all comes down to it,
Yeah,
it's
that's why
all
they don't
about
care. That's
the
why they don't
cash.
care. That's why women can make accusation after accusation after accusation, and nothing happened to them. Even if they make that accusation, and look, man, I remember that the worst accusation. I don't want to go into too many gross details, but when she took my daughter had to be physically examined 4 times.
Mm,
She basically doctor shopped. And every doctor will tell her, ma'am, your daughter is completely healthy. Your daughter's parts are all intact and nothing's wrong with your daughter. She took her through University of Chicago, CoMed Medical Clinic, and DCFS medically examined my daughter twice. So 4 times she put my daughter through this shit. And do you know nothing happened to her?
Mm-mm.
Nothing. I had to be pulled out of the courtroom. I was so livid. They had to pull me out of the courtroom. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. The police said that there's nothing to this. DCFS investigated twice and said that there's nothing to this. And you guys are going to tell you what they told me in court, in open court. They said that I had to prove that she lied.
Mm. She don't.
So,
She don't.
so
She don't have to prove her allegations, but
no,
you
she
got to
don't.
prove. You got to prove that they're
That
not
she
true.
lied. Yep. Yep. I
What I'm
was
talking about?
livid. I was heated. I damn near lost it. That was the one time that I could have, lost my half of custody because of blowing up. Because I was livid. I was like, I cannot believe this. I just can't believe this. You can, and they can just continuously make allegations all they want. That's why if you're a guy, if you paying child support, if they not taking your money out, you need to pay the state. Go ahead. If you got a child support order, pay the state. Don't pay that bitch nothing because she can go to them and say you ain't paid.
Yep. Yep.
Pay your
And
money to the state in a money order and save your money order receipts like I do. Save them.
well, let me ask you this, brother, perfect blackness. Why do you think? Because I went through this similar shit. I know other brothers who went through it, and there's probably many brothers out there listening who have been through it, going through it now, and will go through it in the future. What do you think is behind when a woman does this? Like, especially if you're a solid guy. I mean, if you're some fucked up kind of guy, that's a total different show. That's a total different story. But if you're a solid guy, you care about your kid, and you're willing to spend all this money and do all this shit and make arrangements for your kid and make sure your kid is accommodated when it's at your house and all that kind of shit. What do you think is behind all the barriers that women themselves put in front of you? What do you think's behind that? What do you think's behind it?
Oh man. I honestly think. I mean, looking at my situation and the situation from guys that I know, guys that I've known for years that's going through the child support deal. Um, I think that a lot of it is at least from the woman's at least from women. I think part of it is that for a lot of women is that they know that they lost something real good. 'Cause I know when at the time of my divorce, at the time we split, um, my career wasn't nowhere near what it is now, and it's still ascending. And she knows that, and that's another source of bitterness for her because you divorced me for very trivial, I mean, extremely trivial reasons. And now that my career has gone up, and I know that my daughter, goes to her and tell her that, daddy got this, daddy got that at home, and daddy got this. Yeah, I know she doesn't like that. And aside from the fact that she tried to get me arrested, behind some false shit that didn't take place. So that feeds into her bitterness. And looking at other guys' situations that's been similar, that I can tell you my situation, your situation, these our situations are not the exception. Our situation is really more closer to the rule than the exception. For guys that are paying
Mhm.
child support and all of that. I think when it comes, I think a lot of this is a bitterness on the woman's part, and a system that is very willing to allow a woman to exercise her bitterness. And especially if you're a guy about your shit, it's even going to be worse because um, not all the time, it ain't always wise to kill that goose that laid the golden egg, you know. And once they know that, man, I was that worth getting four, five, six, $700 a month from this guy. That's it. You know, I really didn't hurt him, and a lot of that is that. And I always go back to I had a conversation with my cousin um, because after we divorced, my cousin was telling me that them two they were still communicating, and she told me that she was upset. One of the things that made her that really made her bitter was that my ex-wife told her that she was really upset about the fact that I didn't, in her mind, try to save the marriage.
Mm.
Well, for me, you served me. I got served with divorce papers at work. So you told me, and I've never been a guy that wanted a relationship, ended. I'm still texting you, I'm stalking you and all that, calling it. No, when the relationship is done, it's done. You leave me or you don't want me anymore, I'm done. I'm good with it. Okay, I'm all good with it, and pick up my pride and move on. You know, she was really upset about the fact that in her mind I kind of moved on too fast,
Mm.
and I've heard this similar thing from other guys. I think that I can tell you from my situation when she was threatening to divorce me, she was actually using the threat of divorce in order to get something, in order to get me to behave in the way that she wanted. She wanted me to stop doing community things like coaching and stuff, and I wasn't going to stop doing it because we met. I was coaching, so I wasn't going to stop. So, and the more she used it, the more she realized I wasn't going to stop doing it. She just went through with it, thinking that I was going to say, you know what, let me go and stop doing this. Let me go and get my family back. And when I didn't do that, that just made it even worse. So I think a lot of times, at least for what I think why women do it, I think it's a bitterness thing, especially if it's a guy who's shown himself to move, to be to have the ability to move on with another in another relationship. They know that the courts are going to always be on their side, and it's just a basic thing of having power and swinging the power bat. That's all. They got the bat, and they have the ability to swing it with no compunction. Period, and with no fear of being punished at all. So, and they know it. And again, when you look at the type of allegations that guys get accused of, some of the most ridiculous. I mean, she said that she accused me of punching my daughter in front of everybody while she was 3 years old, but yet she still allowed me to get my daughter. You see what I'm
When I
saying?
when I hear
I mean, that
when
type
I
of
see when I hear this kind of stuff, it brings back memories from back in the day. And I mean, I know when me and my ex split, right? I never had any problems seeing my daughter. I never had any problem seeing her. I started having like you. I saw as long as she could come to my condo, and drop the baby off whenever she wanted. She could just kind of pop up and, I'd just be there. The problem started when she saw that I moved on.
mm-hmm,
Um, I think these women, a lot of these women, as long as they think you sitting somewhere missing their old funky pussy,
and miserable.
long, yeah, long as they think you sitting somewhere missing that, they're fine. But once they see evidence that's not the case anymore, now that's when the bullshit starts. That's when the problems start. That's when you can't see the kid. That's when, oh, you need to pay me child support, even though you're already taking care of the kid. You're already taking care of the kid. All right. I mean, because I know I was already taking care of the kid. Kid didn't want for anything. I mean, when child support finally came through, I mean, they awarded her almost. I mean, what I was giving her already damn near doubled
Golly.
what they ended up giving her. It damn near doubled. I mean, it was double. It was double. It was what I was giving her was double of what she ended up with at the end. And then at the end of all of that ended up going away because I ended up with custody of the child. So all of that bullshit and all the money I spend and the lawyers and the bullshit and jumping through the hoops, all that shit was for naught. Because see, this is what I think happens. I think that a lot of these women don't think long range. They don't give a shit
No, they
the
don't.
effect. They don't give a shit about the effect on the kid whatsoever. They don't give a shit about what the kid is gonna think. They so focused on making your life a living fucking hell that they don't even concentrate on how this affecting the baby. This baby that they're using, as a tool to try to destroy your life, destroy your livelihood, make sure you ain't got enough money to take care, you and maybe somebody else. See, that's what it's all about. They want to put you in a position where you might just start second guessing leaving them.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. That's true, man, because and that's what it all boils down to. And your situation, the states do not want your situation. The states don't want that. That's why and it's a shame that a woman, they would have to be on film smoking crack while beating their child in the middle of the goddamn street, and they will might think of, and they're still going to be going through your house to check to
Mhm.
see if there's anything wrong with your. God forbid if they go through your house and they don't see enough food in the refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
God
Oh
forbid if they
yeah.
go through your house and they find that it ain't clean.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
forbid.
A bed ain't made.
See,
Let them
that's
see
why
that. Let them
they
see that
give the
bed
women
not made.
exactly. They give the mother so much room to the point to where they're not even hiding it anymore.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I remember when I was growing up, women used to. We all knew that women would wear wigs and weave, but we really couldn't tell because they did a really good job of hiding it. And now you look at the women today, they ain't even hiding it no more.
Nope.
That's how it is with the courts and child support and custody. They're not even hiding it anymore, man. They don't give a shit.
Nope.
They're not even hiding. They're allowing women to do all kinds of stuff. When I tell you, I don't know if anybody's seen that show Hoarders.
I
My
have.
daughter, my daughter is living with her mother's grandparents and her off and on most of the time during the week with hoarders.
Wow.
And my lawyer said to me, "Well, you got to make sure that you call." But then this is what my lawyer asked me. This is what my lawyer asked me. If they take her away from her mother, do you think that's the best thing for her? That's what my lawyer. I pay her money, and she asked me that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is how deep this shit runs, man. That's why I hope, man, any guys that listen to this shit, if you going through this, and if you can halfway afford an attorney, you better get you a guy that's an asshole. Get you a guy that the judge and nobody likes because they are going to use the system to get you your child.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be expensive. I know. It's going to be expensive. I'm only talking to the guys who can afford it, who can halfway afford uh four, five, $6,000 retainer. Cause that's oh man, it was hard, man. It's hard when you got it when you looking at you just got paid. And you say, I got to get this attorney, but I got to pay rent. So you're contemplating, okay, all right, I can go in and do this and go do that. But at least I had that lawyer paid. I got that retainer. I can
Mm-hmm.
get the ball running on that stuff. If you got the money, you can halfway afford an attorney. Get the don't go man, don't go getting no goddamn female. Now, I hate to say it, but don't go get no female. Don't I made that mistake. Don't do that. Go get you a guy who will be an asshole on your behalf, who will stop short of nothing but going to jail to
Mm-hmm.
get your child, who ain't gonna have no qualms about putting your homeless baby mama on blast in full court.
Yep. Yep.
Because that was a mistake that I wish I hadn't made. I wish I can take that back. But once you get that attorney, and here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with you get an attorney. You say, "Well, I'm just going to fire attorney." Yeah, you can. Here's the thing: that attorney that you just fired, he or she is not going to give up any type of documents or anything like that that's in her possession or his possession until you have paid them back. And they're going to give you a long list of what you owe.
Yep.
So save yourself some headache. Get yourself a man attorney who has gone through the courts and gotten guys full custody in the face of all of these bullets that you got to try to dodge. Don't go getting no goddamn woman who was a child rep herself and thinking that that's going to be a chess move to get the courts don't see it that way. No. Mm-mm. What you'll wind up doing, you'll be winding up hiring the third attorney for either your baby mama or your ex-wife. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. Now my ex-wife got 3 attorneys that she ain't got to pay for neither one of them.
Because the female attorneys, what they're more likely to do is try to convince you to do what's best for everyone, not what's best for you and the kid. They want you to do what's best for everyone. And by everyone, they really mean, well, you don't want to hurt the mother that bad.
Yep.
You don't want to, that's the shit they're on. They're on that crap,
Mm-hmm.
And I've told brothers before, because I've talked to brothers about this, and I tell them, I say, if you want your kid, fight for your kid. And if you're willing to fight for your kid, be willing to suffer to get your kid. Because
I've had to suffer.
Yeah, you're going to do some suffering now. Yeah, you're going to go through some suffering and all that shit. And in the long run, it is worth it. But it's not going to seem like that in the beginning. Because like you said, a lot of brothers just get fed up, man. They just throw their hands up and say, you know what, man, I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm losing all my money. I'm losing all my time. Because that's how it was for me, man. I was fucked up, man. Missing days at work. My job, talking shit. Like, X, you can't keep missing these days. I'm trying to go to court, get my baby.
I had to go through that too now, and even right now, that's one of the consequences of me going through this, having this the custody, the amount, because I get my kid a lot, and thankfully, I'm in one of these careers. I'm in IT, and not only am I in IT, I've been in IT for a long time, so I have a real good track record, and I'm not somebody that comes at the beginning, so I can go into a job, and I'm being heavily recruited right now. You know what I mean? For jobs that are $80,000 to $100,000, annually. So I can go into it, demanding or saying, look, I can get you your 40 plus, but the hour's going to be this because I got a good deal of time with my kid. I have to fight a long time to get the certain custody that I have with my kid. Look, these days I got to leave early. These days I'm gonna be late. It's just gonna be late. That's just the way it's gonna be. And some jobs I've had to turn down some really good jobs, man. It was one job that was gonna pay me I think $120K a year and all that. I had to turn it down because they wanted me. There's certain hours that I can't take. I can't take certain on calls. I can't do it. So there's a lot of good employment opportunities, man. I miss out on. So it is a risk. It is a sacrifice. But still, I'm in the career. So anyone that recruits me, I let them know that up front. So when they hire me with that and not with that in mind. They know. So I don't have no problem with employers now with that. But still, when some recruiters they call me and say, I got this job for you, man. And if you can't work this time here, if you can't work weekends, and I don't do weekends no more. I don't do off-ass hours no more. I don't have to. I'm at a point where I can demand my hours the way I want them. I can demand the days and all that I want and still get paid a pretty good penny to do it. But still, there's still some jobs, man, that I've had to turn down that I had in a hand that was offered to me. I had to turn it down, man, because of this. Because of it, man. It is what it is. So it is a sacrifice, man. It is not, I get because before me and my wife started dating, it was just me. So now I gotta leave work, go get my kid, because we don't do no exchanges at my place. She cannot come here. She will get arrested if she comes here. So we got to do the exchange at the police station, where
Yeah.
she can't put her hands on me no more,
Yeah.
where I'm protected. See, so I got to go there to get my kid, or if it's in the summertime, I have every other week and all that other type of stuff for the whole week and all that. Oh yeah, man. And I have her on certain days, certain because I'm want to train my daughter about Black history and stuff like that. So I get on Dr. King's Day, Malcolm X's birthday, that type of stuff. I get on special days. Not only the other stuff she can have on Christmas and all that, but I get on more Black important days so I can teach her. So yeah, it's a sacrifice, man. And winning, that's one part, but you got to maintain it, man. I know I can never be late, because there have been times that I'll be 5 minutes late. She'd be at the police station try to file charges on me. I have police officers call me and say, "Hey, are you on way with the kid?" Like, dude, you're supposed to give me a 15-minute grace period. So
Yep.
you go through all of that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. It is not easy, man. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I went
It's
through
worth
that bullshit. I went through that bullshit too.
it. Yeah.
Brother Charles Merchant says something. He said the reason why family courts award the children to the mother is because mama will keep the government in the child's life. If they gave children to their fathers, the government is out.
Facts.
And that's facts. It's facts.
That's facts. Um I'm not going for nobody's government assistance or anything like that. I ain't always made what I make now, so I know how to survive.
Hmm.
I know how to live on 10, 12, $15 an hour, $20 an hour. I know how to live on that. I lived on it before. I don't need no government assistance.
Oh yeah, men, we don't. We
Yeah, that-
we know what
I
the
don't need,
fuck we need to. We know what the fuck we need to do to live.
man. See, even
Shit.
now, I mean, even now, my wife, she doesn't have to work. She ain't got to work. And that's the way I actually prefer it. If she wants to work, she can. My ex-wife was the same way when she was pregnant. And when she told me she was pregnant, man, I had it because I'm a builder. I build, custom build computers and stuff like that. Man, I had computers all in my goddamn living room. People paying me in the hood. I hustled up on all kind of work. Plus, I was working a full time and coaching. I mean, I ain't worried about it. I would never be, out. So I don't need no government assistance. Old boy was right on that. They want the mothers to have the kid because they know the mothers are going to be getting this government assistance.
Hmm.
Women are, for the most part, they are receivers.
Yeah.
Men are producers and givers.
Yep.
So all they're going to
Yep.
do is just sit up on their ass, pat their weave, get fat, and collect child support.
Pretty much.
That's
Pretty
all they're going
much.
to do.
Pretty
And why the
much.
kid running around with worn shoes and everything. You know,
Yep.
I mean, you
Yep.
you won't believe some of the shit that my daughter tells me that her mother tells her. She done told her that, well, if mommy dies, I'll go with my aunt.
Mm.
And I looked at her and said, sweetie, that's not gonna happen. But that's what
Yeah.
she said. That's what
Well.
she.
That's what they. That's what
That's what they
they.
want.
Yeah. They'll resort to that. They'll resort to telling the child all this kind of bullshit. Um, Telling the child shit that ain't even true. They'll make up shit and tell the kid and have your kid thinking all this nonsense. All right.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I say again, they do this not even thinking about how it affects the baby at all. I mean, they don't care. Long as
No, they don't.
they could plant some seed of angst or hatred or disdain for you, mission accomplished. So they don't really care about fucking the kids heads up, fucking the kid up emotionally, or they do not care about any of that, because I'm a true believer, like I said in the beginning, they don't really care about the child. They care about the effect of what they're doing with the child, the effect that that has on you. That's
Exactly.
what this is. That's what it's all about, man. It's not about the kid, because if it was about the kid, none of this bullshit would ever happen. It wouldn't happen. This shit
It
would not
would.
happen.
I
It's
mean,
about affecting you.
exactly. And now I'm at the point, because I liken this, and I was telling my wife this today. I liken this whole ordeal as the 5 stages of grief.
Mm,
And so, as the 5 stages of grief, and I'm in the acceptance stage, and that because, like I said, we had an episode today that kind of that really hurt my wife. I mean, it really did. It shook her and it hurt her. I had to go to the store, and they were here, and my daughter had an episode, and it really shook her because some of the stuff that my daughter was saying, that even she know that no, your daddy didn't do that. I was daddy didn't do that. So I'm at the point to where, because she asked me, well, how could you deal with this? How could you how is it that you can process it? How can you deal with it? And I say, it's like the 5 stages of grief, and I'm at the acceptance stage. I accept the likely reality that my daughter will grow up between. She may not recognize it. She may not know it until she's 30 years old. 8 years old. She may go through 28 years of just hating me.
mm,
She may go through that, right? But I still have a responsibility as a father. So while I know that my daughter may be going through some tantrums and all of that, I can't allow her to throw things in the house because she's mad. I can't allow that. So I
mm.
have to teach her consequences, right? So I have to teach her that no matter how mad you get, when you go out into this world, you can't operate that way. So I didn't whoop her or anything, but I did give her some punishment that brought tears to her face. I know how to. I said I'm on. I spent 10 years in the military. The panel that you had yesterday. I last night I wanted to get on that, but I had to work on some things, and I can only listen. It's about the
Mhm.
marriage and everything. And I think it was MOT said that when he, because I spent 10 years in the military in the army, and I taken the opposite approach when it came to young soldiers. Was that I always when I said, "Look, you in the military, don't get married at all. Don't
Mm.
do it. You'll be a fool to do it. Don't do it. Do not do it." I've seen some real oh some things with young guys that I'm pretty sure not they still paying for, that they wish that they never done it. They wish that they would just never that they would have just taken my advice and just don't. And I'm glad that I took that advice because I didn't get married when I was in the military. I wouldn't do it. Hell no. So because when I first got in and I saw it, man, and it was I'm like no, but and I wish I could have got on that panel. Um, but um, but yeah, my I know how to get out of my daughter. If I need to get tears out of a kid, I know how to do it without laying a hand on it. That's exactly what I got this evening. Because regardless of how much she hates me at this point, and it's cool, I went to a point of absolute anger behind it and trying to negotiate with it. Saying, well, maybe I can do this and she won't be this way. No, because what I found that all I was doing just pandering to the bullshit that her mother was putting in her head. And she was coming over
Mhm.
here and reacting to that. So
Yep.
I can't got to the point to say, you know what, fuck it. Right? Because number one, I can't take that pandering into a marriage and God forbid into more kids where she's gonna have a brother and sister and she's gonna be acting that shit out on them. I'm not gonna have that. So I take an approach, okay, look, just be a parent, accept that she's gonna be this way. There's really not much that I can do because I can't help what she does when she's with her mother. But when she's here, she will see consequences for her actions. She can feel that way. She can be told all kinds of stuff. She can think whatever the hell she wants to think. But when she comes over here, she's going to treat this house. She's going to treat me. She's going to treat her stepmother with respect. Because I know
Right.
when I leave, she wants to try to do that type of stuff. But then when I come, she acts like she ain't did nothing wrong. She acts really innocent. That's how her mother acts. That's her mother. And her
Mm.
mother is extremely impulsive. She'll just act, do shit, you know. So I can't allow that to happen. So that's the downside to that, is that I may miss an entire childhood, an entire good mother, father daughter relationship because of this bullshit. And in the face of all that, I still have to say, well, regardless, that's still my child. She looks just like me, and I know that pisses her mother off.
Mm.
It enrages her mother. I know that because I've seen her get enraged when people who have never seen me, and then when they finally see me, wow, you look, I see, and she would get enraged, just absolutely enraged. So I know what she's capable of, and I just have to accept that. You know, so I've been through those stages, man, and look, it is a hard thing, and I'm at the point to where I've given up not having the storied relationship between, father daughter relation. I've given that up. I've
Mm.
given it up, and I'm not going to treat her any different, but she will get treated like any other children that I may have. I'm not going to treat her any better. I'm not going to treat her any worse. For me, that's love.
Yeah.
Knowing, taking that L, knowing that, okay, now what I won't do is I don't think I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to be getting another attorney because I can't afford for the next 8 years spend another $27,000 behind bullshit. I
Mm.
can't do that no more. I got it. I got the time that I have with her. Um, it's more than what most men have outside of getting full custody or 50-50. Um, and I can just kind of just hold on to that because life goes on, man. And regardless of what you may think, life goes on. There is life out there. And that
Yes.
for me, that's my therapy. Telling other guys about it. And one of the things that I do here in Chicago, haven't done much of it lately because of this whole coronavirus thing, is stay in contact with and mentor fathers who are going through this. And I can tell you a case that I had last year with a kid who was a real talented kid too, and I'm one of the coaches that date the kid that the parents or the wives or coaches are bringing them to me, and I tutor them and I mentor them and all of that, and to the point to where if they're a real hard case, I'll let them know that look, if I need to exercise a little corporal punishment on them, I need you to know that I need to do that, and I don't need any interference.
Mm.
Most of the times, parents will let me do it because they know I'm not going to beat them, and they know that that's never my first, second, or even third go to. You know, but they normally let me do that. But once I start getting results out of them in terms of schooling and all that and their home behavior, um, it's all good. Now, once the first thing that I always do is I go into these kids' homes, right? Because I want to see things. I want to see. So the home is going to tell me everything. It's going to tell me how much responsibility the kid is being made to honor. It's going to tell me whether or not the kid is actually being made to do their homework. It's going to tell me if the parents are actually doing the homework with the kid. It's going to tell me all kinds of things, right? So this one kid last year, he I would go over there and what I found was pretty much the same thing as I found with all these other kids that I deal with. Is that normally the kid is having issues that the father's not involved, but they're acting out in different ways. They're acting out at school, they're acting it out at home, and the only time where they are on some type of even kill is when they're on the football field, because there are other men out there who are more consistent and they see as more father figures, and they know that they'll wrap their head up, if they get out of line. So once I start to talk to this guy, and I asked him, I say, hey, let me talk to your father. Now I talk to the father unbeknownst to the mother. Now again, that's one
Mm.
of the tactics that I would do because I want to talk to the father sometimes um without any type of pollution or anything like that from the mother. Because I know, I can tell, because I've been around kids long enough to know, like, yeah, you got some father issues here. I want to know, hey, do you have any type of relationship with your father? And then he said, yeah. He talks to his father a lot. He said, well, him and my mother don't get along. Well, let me talk to him. So, me and his father talked for about a good 2 hours. And come to find out, like most, that he wasn't really that involved with the boy because, number one, the mother really never really let him know what's going on with the boy. She always keeping him away. And she wanted him to kind of be back with her. And he wasn't going to do it. He told me that she stabbed him and everything, literally stabbed him. Put a knife, not just lacerated him, stabbed him. He's like, no, I ain't going back with that. That's not happening. So she been keeping the kid away from him. The boy never knew it. Boy never knew this. He always thought that the father didn't want to be involved. So what I did, she was just knowing that the boy's behavior at home was doing better. His grades in schools was doing better. So what I did was I told the father, hey man, look, he comes to my apartment at least once a week. So, and I always have him to come over here after practice to study and everything. And I said, why don't you come on over and you and him can talk. And he got along with his father just good, just great, And when the boy went home a few weeks later, told that, yeah, coach is letting dad come over and we talking and all of that. You know what this woman did? She took the boy off the football team.
Wow.
Took him off the football team.
Just for spite. That's just some spite shit.
Yeah. Now, again, I've said this before. See, this whole thing of the father not wanting to be in a home and all this other type of stuff, and that whole tale of that the man just abandoned the family is bullshit. I haven't seen that. That isn't anything that I've seen myself. Oh, Mr. Palmer says send him the link.
I sent it.
Okay,
Sent it.
Hold on. Give me a second here, because I really wanted you to get his perspective, man. He got stats for your ass.
Yeah, I watched a few of his videos, man. I checked out a few of his videos.
May want to send him the link again.
All right, I got you. I'll send it to you again, Brother Palmer. Yeah, I mean, a lot, but when it comes to crap like that, a lot of this stuff is all about spite, man. It's all about spiting you. I can't say that shit enough, man. It's about spiting you. It's about spiting you. It's about making the kid think, convincing the kid that, you don't want to be bothered with the kid. And, because the first thing these women will say is, oh, your father, he left us. No, the hell he didn't. He left your black ass. He didn't leave us. He left you. He didn't want you anymore, mom.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started, boy. You already know what I think about these old mamas. So don't get me started on that.
Yeah, this. I'm glad that the child support system that when I was growing up, because I'm sitting here. Everybody know he always calls it the black female fuckery. I'm a product of black female fuckery. You know what I mean? My mother, she had 9 kids, and she didn't raise not a one of them, not a nary single, not one of them. And I'm the oldest of all. She ain't raised none of us. And the black female, her fuckery has had lasting impressions and lasting consequences on the entire damn family.
Yeah.
So I come from that type of mentality, that mindset. It's the reason why I always want to coach and mentor boys, because boys are under attack, as evidenced by Georgia. The black males are under attack. We are looked upon as being expendable, as an expendable demographic in the United States.
Yeah.
And this whole child support and custody battle, custody conversation, it plays right into it. And because nowadays it's even more intense. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't this bad. It's horrible now. And I think because of the state governments have found out a way to monetize it. to benefit monetarily on it. And they got it's like the prison industrial system. Once you in that system, man, they don't want to let you out of it. They don't
Exactly.
want to let you out of it. You really got to work yourself. You got to really work miracles to get yourself out of it. But you in that child support system, they got you for at least 18 years, and even then some if you owe.
Yeah.
You know, so I hope he can. I'm pretty sure that because I just gave him. He should be checking his email. But yeah,
I sent him the link again. I sent it to him again. Um, See, this is the thing. Now, I know that a lot of these women are just fools. Okay, we're well aware of that. My problem is when you have a woman who claims she's caring about this kid, right? She cares about the kid. That's why she's doing the shit she's doing, right? Which we know is BS. Yeah, we know that's all BS. But she claims she's doing it because of the child. But when it comes down to it, she's doing what she's doing because she feels like you've done her wrong. Has nothing to do with
exactly.
the kid whatsoever. She feels like you've done her wrong. And she's done all this other stuff. She's done all these things. She sees that you've moved on with your life. You may have another woman, another wife, a better job, bought you a house, all that kind of shit. So she knows that she can't hurt you except with one thing. There's only one thing that's going to hurt you at this point, and that is the child. Oh, Mr. Palmer was just up here, but he fell
Yeah,
off.
he was up here for a second, so at least he got the link. He probably
They
go.
got it. Come on back, brother Palmer. Um, the only thing she has left to hurt you with is the child. She knows that that's the one thing that she can do to hurt you. She knows that that is going to hurt you. She knows that, her staying away from you, that ain't going to hurt you. She knows the shit she says to you isn't going to hurt you. She knows that her fucking other guys is going to hurt you. No, she has all that knowledge in her head that none of that shit's going to hurt you. But there's that little you, that little version of you. That's your weak spot. If you're a father that cares, that is your weak spot. That's your weak spot.
Yep.
And they will utilize it. They will use that shit, boy, until they can't use it anymore. Not thinking that this child is going to grow up one day. This kid isn't always going to be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Eventually, this kid's going to grow up. All right. So, what do you tell this child when this child is 18, 19, 20 years old? Do you tell this child the bullshit you did when this child was little? Do you confess? Now I know the answer to all these questions, but I'm asking them figuratively. Do you tell this child all the fuck shit you did to their father, knowing that the father loved this child and would die for this child and do anything for this child? Do you tell that child that when that child is an adult, when that child is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22? Do you confess and say, hey, look, son, me and your pops, we broke up. I did a lot of fuck shit and kept you away from him and realized that he really did love you and I just did some mom fuck shit. Do you say any of that? The answer is no. The answer
Baby
is
mama
no.
Tez ain't gonna say that.
Absolutely not.
You are
Absolutely not.
you already
What's
know though. A baby mama Tez ain't gonna admit shit.
no?
It's always the man's fault. It's always the father's fault. It don't matter.
Absolutely.
Even if they get caught up in the shit, they're gonna still try to find some type of victim to say, "Your daddy's the cause of this." If he wouldn't have left, or if he wouldn't have if he would have kept taking my shit and dealing with my bullshit, but he had to leave, so it's his fault because he couldn't deal with it no more. Yeah, that's a baby mama terrorist for you. See, But what's going on, bro? How you feel?
What's good with it, man? We've been joined by Mr. Palmer up in here. I watched a few of your videos, man. Good shit, man. Made
Man, I
me
appreciate it.
it brought back some shit brought back some memories, man. Because I was just chopping it up with Perfect Blackness here, man, and you know a lot of the shit that he's been through and he's going through, man. I went through similar shit, man. You know, it
Oh
just
yeah,
this was a while ago, and I know many other brothers who going through it and have gone through it. It's like all our stories are the fucking same, man. It's crazy.
yeah, and that's the thing. Majority of it is it all got a similarity. You know what I mean? Some's worse, some's not. And that's one of the reasons why I came out with the fuck child support page. You know, when I started, it was originally on Facebook, and that was because a lot of men who go through it actually believe that they're alone. They believe ain't nobody else going through it, and it's not even the case. A lot of times, cats, guys ain't saying nothing about it because they don't want to. They don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to make things worse than it had to be. To me, it can't be no worse than being an alienated father that's being ridiculed and basically alienated from seeing his kid and labeled deadbeat, put on child support, and he's the bad guy, all because of a failed relationship, or all because of she's mad at you because you moved on with your life, or because she just want to use you for a money bag. And these what I call baby mama terrorists. So
Baby mama
way
said,
the courts, yeah, that's what they are. They're baby mama terrorists. And the thing is, the courts allow this because it's a $51 billion industry, and they use these women as their right hands to get the money. It's a money game. They don't give a shit about the woman either. But that's who they feel is the most best fit, because most majority men are usually the more the breadwinners. So we're good enough to pay, but we're not good enough to be a 50-50 equal parenting. You know what I mean? And that's what I never understand when I talk to these women, these baby mama terrorists. They say they baby daddy ain't shit, but yet he's paying child support. So you telling me he's not good enough to be a father, but he's good enough to pay that bread? Where's the logic in that? And if you say you're so independent, and if you say that you doing everything yourself and you good because you got your degrees or whatever you got or don't got, then if you think you don't need him, then why don't you take him off child support? They will never do that. You know what I'm saying? So they use child support as a tool, and child support use them as a money game. That's why they don't want the father inside in the household, because as long as they have the man in the household, that's less child support money that they get in their corporation, because that's all it is a corporation. So
yep.
you know what I'm saying? It's the highest courts out of all courts. They bring in the most money, $51 billion, and this is a worldwide thing. You got child support in India, you got child support in Brazil, a third world country, Brazil. You got it in Australia, you got it in Canada, of course you got the United States. I don't think they got it in Africa. I don't think they got it in the Middle East, but they got it in basically all over the world though. I didn't even know till a guy came on my page from India and said he's on child support, and they let women run the system. And I tell people all the time, this is a man's world, but women runs the system.
You say that in India the women run the system.
That's what I'm saying. In India, he told me in India he's paying child support. He said women, and I tell people all the time, it's supposed to be a man's world, which it is supposed to be a man's world, but the women runs the system. If they run the system, they run the world. We second class. And that's why I made this page, and that's why I call them baby mama terrorists, because the courts and society always taught us that because they carry our child, that these are the most best fits. So what I do, I come out with videos, articles of these alienated, murderous baby mama terrorists that they say is the most best fit, to prove that they are not the most best fit. Matter of fact, they ain't shit. And what I try to tell people, that we need to stop being silent. We need to start calling it out. You know what I'm saying? Expose these baby mama terrorists for what they are, and expose this courts on how biased and gender biased they are. Because that's what it is. Majority of these cats that's on child support is because of failed relationships. The ones that should be on child support are not on child support. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's on child support is the ones that want to be a father. And the more that you love your kid, the worse it's gonna be for you. When you don't give a shit about your kid, you actually save your kids' lives, because it'll get to the point where baby mama tells to kill their kid. They don't give a shit about no kid.
Yeah,
They don't. They
yeah,
don't.
they don't care about the kids. Isn't
They
that
don't give a shit about the kid.
isn't that ironic though that the brothers who actually care about the kid, they love the kid, they want the kid in their life would probably just take the kid, right off top. Those are the brothers who find themselves back and forth in custody court, back and forth in child support court. The brothers who don't give a shit about the kid, the brothers who can care less about the kid and don't give a shit if he see the kid or not, you don't see them in the child support court. You don't
No,
you don't
it's
see
very
them
rare. It's
you
very
don't
rare you
see
see
them
them in the
going through
court.
this shit, man.
No, it's very rare. And then you got some to just say, okay, I'll pay my child support, and they just stay away. They still don't give a shit. It's a bill to them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
you still don't see them. You know what I mean? But you know, the society is the cause of this, and we also allowed it too because one, like I say, we don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Two, we still talk about, this still my baby mama. Nah, fuck all that. That's not
Yeah.
no baby. That's a baby mama terrorist. You can't co-parent with a baby mama terrorist.
So
Baby girls.
let me
You
ask
can't
you
co-parent
brothers
with no
this.
baby mama terrorist, man.
Let me ask you brothers this because people are going to say this. What do you say to the people who say, "Well, brother Palmer, brother Perfect, y'all picked the wrong girl, man. Y'all picked the wrong woman." What do you say to those to the people who say that?
What I say when it comes to that, when they say the thing that kill me about that, when they say you should have picked better and all that stuff. What I first thing I say is, do you say that to the females who got a low life deadbeat? Do you tell them that when they say that they baby daddy ain't doing nothing or uh he don't want to be a part of the child's life? He say fuck you and the kid. Do you say that? You know what I'm saying? Cause see, they'll tell that to a guy because they don't want to go against that woman. If that woman's a baby mama terrorist, that's Ellie, they doing all this shit. That's how they try to deflect and make take their side without taking their side. Well, you should have picked better, but they never tell a woman that, hey, well, you should have got with the right guy. You should have known better. You should have picked better. You should have recognized this. You know what I'm saying? So they just do that for a deflector because I realize that a lot of these baby mama terrorists support other baby mama terrorists. They ain't gonna go against women ain't gonna go against a baby mama terrorist. They're gonna side with them regardless. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's just another deflection. Because ain't no such. If that's the case, then a woman wouldn't get with a deadbeat or a low life or whatever you want to call it, a Pookie Ray Ray, whatever they want to call it. Because that case, that means she should have picked better too. But then they say, oh, well, they didn't know. But as men, we should have known. You see what I'm saying? So I don't entertain none of that.
Well, I know I don't entertain none of it. I actually go a little harder. That's why I try not to. Whenever I hear stuff like that on these panels and whatnot, I try not to get on because I know it ain't gonna be nothing but a big argument. Because for me, that really pisses me off. Because look, I'm not a goddamn psychologist. I can't pick up on. I can't be expected to pick up on cues and this type of stuff. Look, when you meet someone, things go good. You want to marry, and things go good and all of that. You marry and have kids, and things change. I don't know, maybe the real person of that, the real guy or the real woman comes out. Some repressed mental issues that person may have, that woman may have, or that guy may have, start to come out. Who knows? But I'm not a psychologist. I can
A
only
lot
go
of
by, huh?
no, I'm gonna say a lot of them are wolves in sheep clothing. They already got their
Exactly.
vendetta and their agenda. They'll wait till they get pregnant as soon as they have that kid, and don't have two kids with them. As soon as they have that second kid, they figure, oh, I got him. He ain't going nowhere. He wanted kids. Blah blah blah. I could be who I really am. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and you
You can
don't. I
have
mean,
people around you. You just don't know. That go both
exactly.
ways. You don't know. You
Exactly.
don't
I
know.
didn't. I didn't. And again, my case is not unique. I didn't. I don't have a whole bunch of babies running around out there. For all intent purpose, I did it right. I had my first kid in my mid 30s. You know what I mean? I
That
didn't
will,
get married
yeah.
in my
You know
mid
what?
30s.
And
And I
that
only
will
got
kill me
one
about a lot
child.
of people.
What's
That would
that?
kill me by a lot of people. That's what killed me by a lot of people. They'll sit back and say, "Well, then you should have did the right way. You shouldn't have had a baby out of red wedlock." I know
I
plenty of
right. I,
brothers. I
my
know
baby
plenty of brothers that got married, did it the right way, and then they get divorced, and then they
and
still end
failed.
up paying child support, send their kid every other weekend. They don't get equal parenting, and they the breadwinner, and they paying $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, 2,000 a month, and they only see their kids every other weekend if they see them then. And he's the deadbeat, and this bitch living off of his check and dealing with somebody else who's a pedophile that's allowed to be around a kid more than he is.
Exactly. I mean that's why I hate when I hear
So that
that
don't mean
because
shit about that doing it the right way shit. Ain't no such thing.
right. I think that
A
that's a really
deflection.
right. That's a deflection, but I also think it's a bit dishonest because you're gonna say you just didn't pick well. I mean because that implies that people just run around getting with anybody, and that ain't the case. I'm telling you that's not the case. Again, I'm
Well,
not. I can't speak for guys that are running around got their seed spread all over the planet. I can't speak for those type of guys.
well, my
Type of
page
guys
ain't
like
even.
myself,
You know what? My page ain't even about that. The page is
exactly,
about. It's the guys I talk to is cats that did it the right way, and some that was in long term relationships, some that they got good jobs, they got their own business, they not low life, they ain't got multiple kids, they not gang banging out on the street, they actually got their own holding their own. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That stereotype to think that if you on child support, oh, it's because you didn't want to be a father, or oh, you ran away from your responsibilities, or you just want to be a deadbeat. That's bullshit. That's what they want to
exactly.
paint us as. That's why we got to start calling this shit out. That's why we got to band together. That's why we got to expose these baby mama tariffs for what they are. We have to change the laws in our mind. Because even though child support ain't really, truthfully, child support ain't going nowhere. But if we start
No, that
getting
ain't
the
going.
knowledge, no, it's not. But if we get the knowledge of self and start learning the knowledge of how to go around this so-called child support, we can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because these baby mama terrorists, we got to expose them, man. Because that's why nowadays, when I hear about a guy that, for example, I tell people, killing her and all that stuff, it ain't worth it. But if I hear a guy that say fuck what I'm talking about and he go kill her ass, I'm clapping, bro. I have no sorrow for that motherfucker. As far as I'm concerned, that's one less. I'm telling you the truth, bro. As far as I'm concerned, this is one less piece of shit scum on the earth. Fuck them.
Because she liable
But
to
I
do
don't
it to another
recommend it.
man.
But I don't recommend it. But if you do it, hey, job well done. I mean, that's how I feel. They need to be
Well,
neutralized.
let me ask you brothers this. What would you advise a brother? Say a brother, he was with a woman, might have even been married to her or engaged or whatever, and they had a kid or two, and now they done split up. What's the first thing that brother should do? What's his first move?
You want to be honest with you? This is what I tell. This is what I try to tell brothers now. If you're on good terms and you're not married and you're on good terms, listen to me. Anybody that's in the comment section, if you're not married and you're in a good relationship and y'all got a kid together, get you a acknowledgement of paternity. While y'all in good terms, get that shit in writing. Get acknowledgement of paternity. That's one thing you do. Don't wait till y'all get into bad terms, because then when you try to do it, then she ain't going. It's her baby. Do it while shit is good. And if you married, in my opinion, if you married, even though y'all on good terms and you trust her and she trusts you, whatever, stack up some money and put in your account, because when she take your ass to child support court, when y'all going y'all through y'all divorce, they gonna get you on back child support for how long y'all be in court or whenever she filed. Have some money stack up, because what I be trying to tell cats, you could be on current on child support, but then you got rearage after this court is over with, because they're gonna go back when she filed or when she say he ain't did enough for a couple of years, and the judge might believe the shit. So you have some money stacked up. You know what
And
I'm saying? Have some money
ain't no
stacked up.
mechanism. It ain't no mechanism to
No,
verify her statement on that. None.
not at all.
It
They
ain't
gonna
no.
believe whatever she say. They gonna believe whatever the fuck she say. 9 times out of 10, they gonna believe whatever she say, and they don't give a damn if you lived in the house or not. They're gonna say, well, you don't have no paper, no proof, and when you show on the receipt, they're gonna say, is it child support? Nah. Oh, well then that's a gift. So have some money on the side. So if you ever get them rearage, you pay that shit off, so you ain't gotta be worrying about paying no interest and stuff like that. Number two, what you also can do, if y'all not married and y'all together, try to find a way to get sole custody off her ass. Beat her, go to court, beat her before she could beat you. They already got their plans ahead in year like 2 years increments to get your ass just in case. We have to do the same thing. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to fall short. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the same, that do a dirty game. So even though if you're on good terms, you set that shit up like y'all in bad terms, man, because you don't want to lose with shit at the fan. Because when shit hit the fan, she had running on her emotions and she want to hurt you, teach you a lesson. She got you. So you get yourself set up so you don't fall short either way. That's what you do.
But one thing that I would add, at least for the guys that are married, the guys that are married, and if you didn't get a prenup, you could still do. You can do a postnup.
That's
A post,
mandatory.
yeah, you can do a postnuptial and make the postnuptial, especially if you're a guy that you earn more than she do and all that. So it's not about money. Make
Right.
that postnuptial more so specific about parenting time and custody and all of that. Get all that in writing. Have you two sign it, notarize it, and you keep it.
And you ain't got to go to court. See, once you
You
try to
ain't
do
got to
that
go to
court
court.
shit, right?
Yep.
Once you do that, once you try to come, that's what I say. Why do this while y'all on good terms?
Yes.
While everything's good, she
Why you
gonna do
do
what you. When y'all on good terms, she gonna do what you say. Then she took you. You took her chin. You good.
it?
It's when y'all be
That
fucked
post
up.
number.
Yep. When y'all fuck up, when y'all in y'all bad term, that's when it's gonna be a whole. It's gonna be a explosion. But y'all good term, that's the time to do that shit. But see, I
Yeah.
didn't know no better. I didn't think about that because you don't think that shit gonna be bad. You don't
No,
think
you
shit gonna
don't.
get worse.
You
You
don't.
don't.
You,
But I
you
tell
don't think
fellas
that.
nowadays,
You
you
don't think
think the worst when you get with a motherfucker because a good woman would turn. Even a good woman would turn into a baby mama terrorist.
that. There's a
You know
thin
what I
line
mean?
between love and hate, and I've
And
learned
that's a
that.
fact.
That is a fact. So, but if you don't have a prenup for you married guys, if you don't have a prenup, get you a postnup and have it more
Right.
geared, have the language geared towards more so of like a parental agreement. Because
Right.
what a judge would do with those postnups, they really scrutinize them, okay, for fairness.
Right.
So they really do. They scrutinize them for fairness. So if you are more worried about your relationship with your kid post the marriage, after divorce and all of that, if you word it for that and for that almost really pretty much only, they're gonna be really lenient on child support and all of that. Why? Because the mother signed it. And if it's just geared towards the custody and all of that, parenting time and custody, the mother's going to be more likely to sign it in good times. In
Exactly.
bad times, when she's bitter and you done cheated on her, whatever the case may be, oh, she ain't gonna sign it. Right now, when things are really good and all that, get that postnup, man. Get that postnup. You didn't
Exactly.
do a prenup, that's cool, but get that postnup because now it holds the same weight, especially when it's behind, just custody. Get that.
Exactly. You have
That way
to.
you'll save
You have
yourself
to.
a lot of headache.
Yep. And I tell people not do it while you in good terms. If you in good terms with her, that's the time to do it because she's gonna do whatever you say then. Don't wait till shit hit the fan. Cause when you talking about, oh, I'm gonna fight and go get a lawyer, you're gonna be spending a lot of money and you ain't still ain't gonna get what you want. I know a brother that's in New York, right? Who's in New York, who was married. Now, a lot of cats try to say, well, not cats, but with a judge will try to say, well, say if it's you the guy, right? You've been there for all the years with the baby and everything. You was there for 5, 10 years. You up and leave. They're gonna say, well, you've been gone for over 6 months. So the baby gonna stay with the mother because the baby's used to that mother. This guy was there, he did not leave until the judge told him it's time for you to move out, divorce or whatever, right? While he was there, did you know he was paying child support? He was living downstairs, she was upstairs in the same house. He was paying child support.
That's fucked up.
And then I shit you not in New York, and this would end up happening. He thought he was gonna get equal parenting because he never left. And I told him, I said, bro, they're gonna cut you off. They're gonna make you pay child support. I said they're gonna give you every other weekend. You ain't gonna get shit. He said, I doubt it because the lawyer told me because I'm still here. I said, mark my words. I said it shouldn't be like that because you didn't leave. I said, but these judges in these courts, they want that child support. They ain't gonna
They
let you
want
get
the
no equal
money.
parenting. They want the money. Guess what happened, y'all? Well, he had to leave. She keep the house. He did get alimony because she made more money. But guess who had to pay the child support? He did. And
So
guess how many?
they give it right
And,
back.
and, and guess how much he get his kid every other weekend? And he been there, did it the right way, got married, had kids, did it the right way, been there, didn't leave till the judge told him to leave, and he's on child support paying and every other weekend.
And see, here's another thing too. In Illinois, I don't know. I know it. I know it's in other states. The amount of child support you pay now is tied to your parenting time. So now 50-50 is even harder to get because women don't want to give up 50-50 time because they know that child support is going to be significantly reduced if you have the child 50% of the time. So now it's even rougher, you know. Now that's why it's important, guys, that look, if you marry, if you ain't married and you have a kid, the best thing that I can tell you is that you have, if you can afford it, you have to stay involved. They call it participate in the process. You
Well, here's
have
the
to
thing.
participate
Here's
in the
the
process.
thing. Just to let y'all know, anybody that don't know, if you're not married and you have a kid out of wedlock anywhere in the United States,
Yes,
she automatically got full custody. Just so you know,
automatically.
but they're not gonna tell you that. That's
No.
why I tell y'all, if you on good terms, get acknowledgement of paternity, and when you
Yep.
do that, then you'll get equal parenting. As
Yep.
far as by the law, because
Yep.
they don't count you if you're not married as being the father. They're not paying you no attention. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Even if
I think
and
brothers don't understand that. I mean, I think
well,
brothers don't understand that. If you ain't married to her, guess what? You have like no rights
you have no rights. You could
Have
unless
no
be
you
a
right.
establish
celebrity.
them.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why you got to. That's why I tell them you got to get a acknowledgement of paternity. You got to do that. And I say do that when you're in good terms, because if you got it in good terms, it only costs like I think in Illinois, I think it's $250, $300. It's worth it. You get that took care of, then you. I ain't gonna say you halfway there, but it's a start. And then the next thing you do, like you say, get that posting up and say, hey, look, if anything happens, we're going to, give me my 50-50 parenting time, and ain't going to be no child support, or you going to give her this out of you without you going to court. And as long as you got her bubbly and feeling good and tickle her chin, you okay.
Yep. Get her to
You know
sign
what I'm
it, get her to
saying?
notarize it. And as soon as she get bitter and all that and divorce you and
You
say,
got
you
them
know what you
paperworks.
did, you go right to the judge with that paperwork. And the judge, even in the worst states, a judge will acknowledge that. They'll
He
look
got
over it
no
and
choice.
he ain't got no
He got no
choice.
choice.
He
Got
ain't
no
got no choice.
choice.
Unless he
See,
look at it and say, this is unconscionable. This is just so unfair. Look, if you have lawyers to take a look at that, a judge will be like, yeah, this is pretty good here. A judge ain't gonna have no choice but to honor it because you signed it or she signed it and you notarized it. It ain't just not just sign it. When y'all both sign it, get it notarized.
right. And see what people gotta understand. When it comes to these baby mama terrors, a baby mama terrors ain't necessarily got to be somebody that's not working, that's on welfare, that ain't trying to do nothing for themselves. You got baby mama terrorists that got professional careers, they got degrees, they got jobs, they
Mm-hmm.
living a good life. So don't think of a baby mama terrorist as just a black woman. Don't think of a baby mama terrorist just some broke bum bitch. You got baby mama terrorists that come in all forms.
See,
It doesn't matter. You
see,
know what I'm saying?
the guys that the system is living on is guys like us.
Exactly.
It ain't the guys that's got 4 and 5 kids
No,
by three different women
no.
because likely they only getting paid 8, 9, $10 an hour,
Right.
and we
If
know how
they
that
even if
go.
they if they even if they even
If
working.
they making that, yeah, and we know how that go. It's the first baby, first serve.
Right.
Hmm.
First baby get the most money, and then the rest of the babies don't get too. They get a percentage of what's left.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. They get the
and they not
scraps.
really getting no money off of that. What, $50 a month? $100 a month?
Yeah. The
Not really
dudes
getting
with
it.
10, the dudes with
It's
10 and
the
20
career
baby
guys is what
mamas, they not
it's
really
the
putting
career
into the
guys is what
system
they
like
living
that,
off
man.
for. They living off guys
They
like
not.
they
They
living off
not.
guys like me and you. They living off the career guys. They living off the guys that are getting paid 50, 60, 70,000, 6 figures. They living off that group of guys.
Right.
Exactly.
That's why
You
they
Exactly.
know.
can afford because anytime, and people need to understand this, if they can take your federal taxes behind your child support, you know the federal government is benefiting.
They always
Hmm.
benefiting. That's why the shit. Here's the thing. Child support started was the benefit of white women. See, that's people to get it don't know. It was the benefit of white women. You know what I'm saying? Who was married white women. And that was for military men who went overseas and never came back. The guy with some Asian and moved on with their lives, right? It was for them. That's how alimony and child support was created. It was to benefit white women because white women at the time weren't allowed to vote. They weren't allowed to work or none of that. So he'd leave them high and dry, and they at home with their kid. As time went on, a lot of people, as you see now in this day and age, they don't get married. They have kids out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? So um, the court's seen it as a money game. So they don't care why that woman's taking you to child support, whether if it's some a fair relationship, whether because it's legit or not. They look at it's a money bag. And then Bill Clinton making no better, passing the Deadbeat Act, talking about if you in over 2,500 in arrears, then and you ain't pay your child support in 6 months, whether if you laid off, fired, or whatever, they could put you in jail, take your passport, take your license, and actually destroy your life and keep you locked up in jail. But then they tell you if you want to get out, then you need to pay this main amount to get out of jail, and then they put you back in jail if you ain't got the money again. So it's like killing two birds with one stone, you know.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
and you know what? And here's another thing. I try not to talk about the black, just like talk about just the black women, but when you look at the percentage of like white men they pay the most in child support. They get screwed the most as far as money. They pay the most money because they got the high paying jobs and everything else. When it comes to black men who, as black, we 13% of the population, I believe it's 40% of black men that's on child support. And they not on child support because of white women.
Yeah, we
They
pay at
on
a higher rate though than
we
those.
pay at a high we do pay it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you come to to the percentage, we pay on a higher rate and the percentage, which is
Yeah,
bad because these
we pay
so-called
on
pro
time more too.
we do. But when it comes to these fake ass conscious pro-black, we support our kings. These the ones that holler black power. We support our kings and put them the main ones to put on child support. But then talking about we support our men. See, see, and they don't want to talk about that. And you got these blue pill pro-black simps that sit back and make excuses for these whores. You know,
See,
Absolutely.
that's the problem that I have with the, and I get mistaken for being one of the pro, I guess in that crowd, so to speak, because I'm always speaking up for, for black folks. For me, I can live out in the suburbs, but I refuse
hmm
to live out in the suburbs.
hmm
Because if you want to know why, because I always say I don't like living around people who don't like me. I.e., look at the Georgia case. See, that's the perfect example why I don't live out. Why I refuse to live out in the suburbs. I'd rather live in the city. I don't have no problem when we're living around my people. Even some of the thuggish ones and all that. Yeah, I rather live around them. I don't have to worry about them shooting me in my back with a goddamn rifle, standing on a fucking truck in the middle of goddamn 79th and Stony. I ain't got to worry about that. You know what I mean? I may have to worry about some other stuff, but shit, I know I can handle myself with that. So hey, I don't know what to tell you on that. But that crowd, when you start talking about the shit that black women do against black men that is detrimental to the community, they don't want to hear it.
Well, that's because the truth hurts, and they don't want to get called out. The thing is, when it's all said and done, they put black men as third world. We ain't shit. They got the alphabet community that's above us. You got the feminists that's above us. You got the Me Too that's above us. We ain't shit. They got the phone now where they say we don't need no man, and that's why I say I got memes I post up where it says with a feminist say my body my choice, but you pay it. My body
Mhm.
my body my choice, your responsibility.
Exactly.
So they want to kick it either too. They don't want equal rights. They want to be able to run you and then also play victim when it's all when they get caught in their shit.
They want access to your money, to your pockets, whenever they want. They see you as a source of. They see you as a resource. They see you as a source of income. That's it. As a
Right. It's a
source of
money.
income, and they
It's a
actually think
money
they have a
game.
right to it. That's
They
why
Right.
want
I say.
they
That's
want
why I
your
say.
money, but they don't want you telling them how to spend it.
That's right.
Right.
And
And
that's why I
and
say
that's
that.
sad. Yeah, it's sad when the judge tell you when you ask them a question about this chick is using the money for everything else except for my child. And you know what the judge tell her? I heard it. The judge say she had a right to do whatever she want with that money. She has that right. They
Exactly.
don't care what
Yep.
she use it for.
Yep.
And ain't nothing you
You
could do
can do
about it.
whatever she does with
And
the
ain't
money.
nothing you
That's
could
her
do
business.
about it.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yeah.
I heard it. And that's why I say we all got similarities when it comes to this. Some worse than others. And that's why we have to band together and start giving out knowledge so we could change the laws in our mind. You know what I'm
See,
saying? Because there's always a ways around this shit.
that's see, this is the problem that I have with people who got negative shit to say about guys like us who are just um who putting the knowledge out there. It doesn't matter when you get on subjects like this. When you get on this subject, you can talk to a guy from New York, here in Chicago, Florida,
India.
LA, Texas, and they got the same goddamn story.
But then somebody call you all lies.
Exactly.
You
It's
just
the
mad.
same
You just bitter.
story.
You didn't want to be a father. You lying. It's the same old shit. All.
You get
That's what
put
I
on
say.
child support
So,
because you must have been a deadbeat, or you must not been taking care of
right.
your kid.
Your own mama will go against you and make you be the bad guy. Take up for that baby mama terrorist whore. I shit you not.
Exactly.
I know plenty of men who tell me their own mama went against them, and then when they realized it, that they was a baby mama terrorist to their own dad. That's why they daddy wasn't around. That's why they didn't hardly see
Yes.
their daddy. That's why the
Yeah, I saw
daddy.
that too.
That's why yeah, and that's why the daddy said fuck you and the kid. It ain't always that he didn't want to be a father. You know these baby mama terrorists, they create deadbeats. They don't always they come in trying to be a father, and they created made quote unquote created him to be a deadbeat because they got tired of bullshit. And they said fuck you and the kid ain't worth them gone.
And before I had my kid, I have to be honest, man. Before I had my kid, when I was living in Florida, before I had my kid, I used to really wonder. I used to be real hard up on single fathers and all that. I used to wonder, how is it that you can have a kid and just say fucking and just pay the child support? How could you do that? I used to wonder that shit until I went going through my own nightmare. I can totally understand how a guy can
Yep.
say, fuck it. I just pay the child.
And
I
I
got
tell,
mine.
and you know what, brother, and I tell people nowadays, I said, if you can fight, fight to the end. But if you get to the point, break a point where you feel like you want to kill her, you want to kill yourself and all that stuff, wash your hands and walk away. It ain't worth it.
Walk away,
Wash your
man.
hands and walk away. The
Or
fuck you gonna kill yourself for?
yeah, or
It ain't worth it. Fuck
if
that.
your fighting is going to hurt other people, you
It
got
ain't worth it.
you
I
got to cut
seen,
your
yep,
losses and
yep.
go.
I seen guys who were so hurt and angry. The person that was supporting them, they significant other, they end up
Walk
getting
out.
divorced, or they end up losing they woman because of that baby mama terrors, and that's what the baby mama terrors want. You don't want to destroy your livelihood.
And see, that's another untold story. How
That's
some
why.
guys
Yep,
who are doing everything that they can
yep.
to stay in their kids' life to not be the stereotypical quote unquote deadbeat, and they get into another relationship, and during the course of that fighting, they can't even have a wholesome relationship
Not at
because of it.
all.
And see,
Right.
that's one thing that I vowed. I'm not going to do that with this man. I'm not going to do it. I'm not spending
No,
another $27,000. I'm not
I'm
doing it.
man. I'm not doing that shit either. My thing is this: y'all motherfuckers want to entertain what that baby mama terror say, even though y'all see the truth. Then fuck you. That's how it is. I'm just gonna do me, live my life, keep my arms open. My kids want to come around. You more than welcome. You know what I'm saying? But you got kids nowadays to be so manipulated. I seen kids that call their dad bitches. I got a video that I got on Facebook
Yeah,
where
my
the
daughter
daughter
never
called
do
them all
that.
types of bitches and shit.
Yeah, shit, my daughter would never do that to me. Yeah, I
No,
will
mine won't
say
either.
I've caught my daughter trying to steal clothes out of here. I've caught her doing that.
And 9 out of 10, the baby mama Terrence
Yeah,
told her to do it.
I
But
caught her
9 out
doing
of
that.
10, but look, how much you want to bet 9 out of 10? The baby mama Terrence told her to do it. See, that's what I'm saying. Manipulation is a powerful thing. It's a
Hmm.
powerful thing. If you got a person mind, you got gold. You got gold. No different from a cult leader, a preacher, a pimp. Ain't no different than a baby mama Terrence. You got that person mind or got a kid mind, you got gold. You
Well,
know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
plus
I
you
already
gotta
told my daughter.
you gotta think about how much time these women spend
Hmm.
indoctrinating these children. I mean,
Hmm.
Right.
it's not like they sitting back only saying it to them,
Wants or twice. Oh no.
once
No.
every month.
Think
They are
about it.
indoctrinating these
Think about
children,
it. You
man.
only get your kid every other weekend, 4 times a month. They got them every single day. Every single day they telling your kid that your father don't want you. Your father's a deadbeat. He left you for her and all that shit. He taking other women's kids. And even if the kids see it another don't see that when she's around their dad, the manipulation so powerful. And then you got some that spend their money on them, buy them, let them do what they want to do. So you got kids that's not stupid. They're gonna be like, shit. Well, she let me do what I want to do. He's strict with me, so they're gonna side with the mama too. It plays a lot of things. That's why I say it's different scenarios, but they all come with the same issues. You know what I'm saying? That baby mama terrorists.
Yep.
You know, and that's why I tell y'all I don't condone nobody killing them, but at the same time, when I hear about somebody, going to that deep end, I clap. I have no sorrow. I actually, hey, you did a great career move. Hey, congratulations. I don't feel sorry for no baby mama terrorists. Not at all. Nothing. I had no
Well,
remorse for them.
I have
Fuck
no
them.
sympathy for him. I
Nothing. Nothing.
told my daughter, she's just like I said, she's just 8 years old, but she's a smart little girl. And I told her, I said, I tell you what, that I'm married now, married again. We're planning on having children, so you'll have some brothers and sisters running around here. If you
Right.
want to be a part of this family, you are a part of the family. If you don't, you
Hey,
won't.
that's on you.
Now I tell her that now, to put
Right.
it in her head now.
You have
Look,
to.
you're more this this home is yours. But when you come here, your mother stuff don't work.
Exactly. And keep that shit over there. Don't bring it over here.
You want to when you don't want to be a part of this family, fine. You give
Right.
it to mother. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't ask me for no shoes. Don't ask me for no socks. Ask your mother. She get child support. Ask your mother.
And that, you know
That's,
what?
I mean, that's where I'm at now. It took me a
And you know what,
long time,
bro?
This is my fifth stage of grief. The stage of acceptance. I'm at the stage of acceptance right now.
Right.
I went through the anger,
Yep. The pleading.
negotiation, and all that. I went through all
Yep.
that. I went through all
Yep.
that. I'm at
Yeah,
the
I have
point
to.
now.
I have to.
I've
I have to.
accepted it.
Bro.
If she doesn't see me, she doesn't see the truth until she's 30 years old.
So be it.
So be it.
I had preachers, bro. I had a minister that's he's an Israelite. Then I had another minister that's apostolic, and they both told me, they said, ain't nothing you can do about it. They said you can't control this. You know what I'm saying? You can beg, plead, ask, show proof. It doesn't matter. They said wash your hands and move on. From preachers, these ministers. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
said they told me. Now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't want to hear nothing like that from anybody. Man, wash your hands and move on. You don't want to hear that. You want to be a father. You want to be around your kids. You don't want to hear that shit. But the reality is you do have to wash your hands and move on. Because you cannot fix something. You cannot fix something that's already that damages something else that what these baby mama terrorists do. And you don't have no control over this. You know what I'm saying? You didn't cause this, and that's nothing. We as fathers have to start realizing you did not cause
Yeah,
this.
it ain't your fault. You didn't
It's
do it.
not your fault. Do not take blame. Talk about you shoulda, coulda, woulda, bullshit. Don't fall for that. I tell everybody, keep your veins cold. Do not fold. Keep your veins cold, and you'll live longer. And stay away from that baby mama terrorist because you cannot co-parent with a baby mama terrorist.
Absolutely.
You cannot co-parent with a baby mama terrorist. And I tell people all the time, a mother and a baby mama terrorist are two different individuals because a mother is not gonna do no shit like that. Whether y'all on good terms or not, you want to be around, you want to be there for your kid. She had no problem with that. I don't fool with you, but you a good father. But he ain't shit. But he a good father. I ain't gonna interfere in that. That's a real mother. That's a real woman. A baby mama terrorist don't give a fuck what the fuck you do. Anything to sabotage your livelihood and make you hurt yourself, kill yourself, and fuck up your life, quit your job, and stay in the house and all that stuff. That what she like to hear. A baby mama terrorists hate that you pay a child support and you living your best life. You still moving on. You still succeeding. You got your own business. You're not talking to her. You're not entertaining her. You're not even looking at her messages. They don't like that, and that's how you gotta move. You know what I'm saying? Because the baby mama terrorist ain't shit, and the baby mama terrorist ain't never gonna be shit. And the worst thing you could do is be manipulated by a baby mama terrorist. Because when she sees she got you in a bed, she gonna use that. She see a baby mama terrorist use their kid as a pawn, a weapon, a trophy. They use them as a shield. They use them as a power. Everything. That's number one. They use that for money game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But they use them for everything in the book. They half these baby mama terrorists don't even want the motherfucking kid. They have it because for them reasons right there. And then if you say, okay, well, if you don't want the kid or if you don't want about it, I'll take the kid. Hell no, they ain't gonna do that. Why would they do that for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hell no.
And God forbid if you're a guy that's making a lot of money, because again, I used to wonder this as well. How is a guy that's making millions of dollars, he owe several $100,000 in child support, but he ain't locked up? That's because he's making millions and millions of dollars, and if they lock him up, they won't get nothing.
They're not stupid.
They ain't stupid.
It's true.
That's why I know the guys like us, we're the ones who actually are driving the whole system. They're getting it off of our backs. That's why I know I know I may take an extreme approach to it,
Right.
but it's a nuclear bomb, and I don't give a damn. Don't fuck with
That
none of these bitches. Don't fuck with
that's
none of these
and you know
American
what,
bitches.
bro? And then that's why I made the page because I want to call out these baby mama terrorists that should have been called out many years ago as it is. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
We
tell
we
everybody
got
how many subs and followers you got on your Facebook page.
on my Facebook, I got over 120,000 likes, and then I got over 130,000 followers. And on my Instagram page, I got over 6,900 followers. So then I decided people was telling me to go on YouTube. So now I'm on YouTube. I'm slowly starting, but it's gonna grow as well because there's a lot of people that is tired of these baby mama terrorists and this unjust system. I got
Yeah,
white, black, blue, green on that page. It ain't. That's why I tell people it's men's period. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people this. I understand that you might don't like white people. I understand you pro black. I understand that you might be outright. I understand that you might be Muslim. I understand you might be Christian or whatever. When it's all said and done, when you go in that motherfucking courtroom, they don't give a fuck what you is. You
and
go in
that is
that courtroom, bro. You go in that courtroom right now, and that judge might be, we'll say he Adolf Hitler. You go in there and tell him hi Hitler. He gonna salute your ass, but after that, he gonna tell you you owe $1,000 of child support. He don't give a fuck either. He don't give a fuck. You
they
go up
don't.
in there,
No,
He
they
bro.
don't
don't.
care about none of that
They
shit.
He don't
don't.
give a fuck none of that. When it comes to child support, only in child support, it's not about no race. It's gender bias all the way, 100%. So that's why I say sometimes your enemy you have to work with your enemy. Even God in the Bible says he used the devil for God's work. So sometimes you got to work with the devil to get what you need to get done. Which the worst agenda is that equal. It's that equal. We want equal rights because we all in that hole. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We have to come together.
that's why I say that until things get better, because they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
know what they're doing. It's designed.
I don't think it necessarily take us doing what they call bringing awareness, as they say, quote unquote. They are fully aware what the fuck they are doing. They're aware. That's why I say that for men, and I speak for black men, don't put your dick in not another. I know it's going to be something. Don't put your dick in another black American woman. And yeah, I got a daughter, and somebody asked me. I think somebody asked brother X the same thing too. And I said the same thing. Tell my daughter, you get your ass out of here and you do that type of shit, then you ain't no better.
Yeah.
And
This this
you don't deserve a good man.
Nope.
this what I also this what I tell people like a lot like on my page. I tell people to be free thinkers, change the laws in their mind. If you have to better yourself by dealing with non-American women, if you have to change yourself to be MGTOW, if you have to be a free agent or whatever you got to do that's gonna make yourself a better man, you do it. But don't fall yourself with no baby mama terrorists. So
Oh
whatever
no.
angle you gotta go, that's what I'm saying. Whatever angle you gotta go, if that's gonna help you to get somebody overseas or to get you somebody, or you go MGTOW, or you go free agent, or you ain't never get married, or you ain't dealing with black women, whatever makes you yourself as a man to have a good life and live better and not fall for that trap, you do it.
But see, all of those groups that you named off, Mr. Palmer, all of those groups got one thing in common:
And you're
not
right, they do.
fucking with these bitches,
And you're right, and that's why,
taking their
if
call and going home.
and true, and because of that, on my page, if you go on my Instagram, my Facebook, they MGTOW, they free agents, they all these different types of they hate women. Some of them are just male female hate groups, but they all understand where I'm coming from because it's the core. Fuck child support is the core of everything that we talk about today, from feminism to Me Too to the alphabet community to men's being who we supposed to be, which is the lead, the alpha, the breadwinner. We ain't shit but money givers. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying? We
Mr.
down to
Palmer,
the third grade.
let me ask you this:
Yeah.
what would be, um, in terms of the child support system itself, what would be the one thing in your mind, if we can get one change overnight, what would be the one thing that you would be pulling for?
Equal parenting rights. That's if it could snap my fingers and it just to change equal parenting rights. The problem is a lot of men are not allowed to get equal parenting rights because they
By
don't want it.
default.
Because if you get equal parenting rights, then that's either no child support you have to pay or it's less child support you have to pay. And you get your kid half just like she get half. Ain't no primary parenting. If they change that, I'll shut my mouth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But until then, it's fuck child support. And at one point I said reform it. Now I say abolish the whole motherfucking thing and start over again. You know what I'm saying?
Burn it all
Because
down to the ground and rewrite it.
rewrite it.
Or don't
And
write
matter
it ever again.
right, or don't write it all. Because it's a money game. The family court ain't nothing but the family court mafia. And they use these baby mama tears as their right hands to destroy men. You know what I'm saying? And when it's all said and done, we as men, like I say again, we have to change the laws in our mind. Even though child support is around, even though child support ain't going nowhere, there's ways around this child support shit. We just have to be thinkers and not reactors. We can't entertain these baby mama tears. We can't show our emotions with these pussy ass judges that try to set you up for failure. So when it's all said and done, we all have to come together and try to make change. Uh,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I
And the
always say the
problem is
first step is stop fucking with them. That's
that's
the first
and
step.
then we got to stop making excuses for them. So you got plenty
Yeah.
of these blue pill simps that want to make excuses for these women because they want to get in their draws.
Yeah, and a lot, and this is a point that Obsidian made, that a lot of them, because a lot of them, because a lot of these women that we're talking about, we're talking about their sisters, we're talking about their mamas,
Your
we're
own
talking about
mama
their
do it, man.
girlfriends.
Your own mama do it. You know
Exactly.
what? Have a conversation with a woman about child support, and you'll be surprised on what you hear. You would never thought about it because y'all cool and she seemed down to earth. It could be your own sister, but when you talk about that subject of child support, you'll look at them totally different. Your own mama.
Hmm.
You'll be surprised because that's why a lot of people don't want to talk about that. But I want to talk about that. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? You'll be surprised the ones that go against your motherfucking ass.
oh, you trust me. I over the last decade or
Uh
so,
huh. Uh huh.
I have discovered that many women that I know and that are
Mm
in my circle of influence
hmm. Mm
are
hmm. Mm hmm.
These, mamas,
Mm.
mamas.
My man.
yeah, I've discovered it. I'm like, damn, you're one of these old mamas, ain't you? You
But
know,
long as you
so
don't talk, but long as you don't talk about that, bro, you all right with them. But as soon as you
You all
bring
right
it up and
with them?
say, "No, I ain't with that," they gonna look at you and say, "You the enemy." No,
Yeah.
you
oh,
the enemy.
I talk
You the
about that
enemy.
shit.
You
And
supposed to talk about it. You better
they
talk
can't
about it.
stand it. They can't stand it because they know they like that. They know the old mammies was like that. I mean, and the crazy thing is this. You brothers were talking about, you know, just wash your hands of the situation. And we've been taught to say, okay, go through any and everything as far as your child's concerned. But if a woman is making it so hard for you to be in your child's life, I can't even get mad at you if you say, you know what, man, I can't do this shit no more. I'm getting locked up. All this shit's going on. I can't even get mad at you at this point if you say, you know what, fuck this, man. Fuck this kid. I'm out. If she's made your
Right,
life so fucking difficult that you can't even fucking live it, I can't even get mad at you if you say, you know what,
bro,
fuck it, I'm out.
bro. Every year, 20,000 men commit suicide due to alienation or child support.
Hmm.
Not being a father. Every year, 20,000 men. Most of them, I ain't gonna lie, most of them are white folks, but men over 20,000 a year are committing suicide due to alienation and child support. So you telling me that I'm supposed to go all the way to the point where I want to kill myself and hang myself and shoot myself? Oh no, oh no, fuck that. And she lives her life and still get our hee and her kickbacks and shit. Hell nah, you a fool. You can't be no sucker, man.
Nope,
You can't. You know what I'm saying?
nope.
I understand, but no, hell no. You kill yourself or you cause yourself harm or you kill that baby mama Ted, you go to jail, then you one less person we ain't got in our team to be soldiers to make this change. That's why I say we got to go another route.
Man, that 20,000, that's on the level
20,000
of,
a year.
that's on the level of flu death.
Yeah.
I tell people all the
Between
time,
24 and
bro,
60,000 people died of
bro,
flu every year.
bro, a baby
20,000
mama
men are killing
terrorist,
themselves just for that.
bro. You know what? A baby mama terrorist ain't no better, ain't no different from the coronavirus.
No, no.
You have to quarantine yourself from a baby mama terrorist. You have to wash your hands with these baby mama terrorists. You have to stay away from a baby mama terrorist. You got to have social distance from baby mama terrorists. They will set you up for failure. They will get in your system and cause you all type of health problems, which is your respiratory, your blood pressure, your diabetes, and kidneys, and everything else. There is no different from a coronavirus. Matter of fact, they worse because you dealt with a coronavirus for 18 years or maybe 21 years.
Well, epidemiologists have a word for that. They call those vectors of diseases.
Vectors of diseases.
Well, they
That's
worse
what
than
they are.
they worse than the coronavirus. I tell you that. I'd rather deal with the coronavirus to deal with a baby mama terrorist.
So, do you brothers advise brothers who, they paying their child support, like they're supposed to and paying it on time, and they still getting a lot of heat from the mama, they still can't see the kid. Do you advise these dudes to just say fuck it, pay your child support, and just go on with your life, or
Yep.
should they be fighting to get access
Here's
to
the
their kid?
thing.
What should they
Here's
do?
the, here's the thing. If you start off fighting, you fight till you can't no more. I ain't gonna say don't fight at all. If you able to fight, you got the money. You can pay them $10,000 court fees and lawyer fees and everything else, and fight back and forth. If you can do it, then do it. But when it comes to that point where you're gonna lose your livelihood, lose what you got, lose your business, lose everything for something that you're not gonna win anyway, wash your motherfucking hands and move on. If that kid wants to be bothered with you, believe me, that kid, and hopefully that kid see the light. It's not necessary, it's not guaranteed. But if that kid see the light, keep your arms open for that kid. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? When that kid get 13, 14, 15, 16, they realize that this motherfucker been lying to them and playing the game. They gonna come back to you. If not, then you gotta live your life, man. You only live once. Once you're gone, you're gone. And you're gonna sit back and destroy your own livelihood with other people that actually love you and care about you because of this motherfucker over here. It ain't worth it.
Well, my advice would be, first,
Start over.
well, yeah, but for me, it would be dependent on the circumstance. And here's the reason why I say that. I like what you said, brother. I like what you said, Miss Mama, about when he say, if you start off fighting, fight until you can, and then, after that, you get to a point to move on. Because that's kind of where I was at. I started off fighting from the beginning. Started off fighting. I didn't even allow her from the beginning to take my kid from the beginning.
Right.
But some guys may not have that. Some guys might have the means, but they don't necessarily have. They don't have the know-how. I've counseled guys like that. They have the means, they don't have the know-how, right? They have the money, but then they don't know what the first place to turn, because they're operating on a lot of assumptions where they're gonna get the kid to the mother, and I'll just get every other weekend, and that's it. A lot of times they don't even know that there are certain other things they can do, but it's gonna cost that money. Guys who don't have the money and everything, but the woman is stupid. There are some things that I can tell them. Okay, look, well, you can threaten this, or go ahead and pay for this petition right here to the court, and it may not go any further than that because of the woman's knowledge of it. She may be too thottish, too stupid, and may not know. Okay, well, he made this petition. Okay, he's getting this much time, and that'll be a good time to ask for a whole bunch. So ask for 50-50, you may not get it, but you get more than every other weekend. So it really just depends upon the circumstance. It depends upon what the guy's what his intent is versus what he can pay for versus how the determination level of that woman. If that woman's anything like my ex-wife and he got money, I'm telling him to stop while he's ahead. Get what you can, stop while you're ahead. Stop while you're ahead. It was another guy that I wanted. I'm still talking to this guy now. I met him in the schoolyard of my daughter's school, and I went to go pick her up. And he was there.
Right.
He was there man, this situation could have got bad. He was there. He was there to pick up his kid. Right. I think it was a boy. He was there to pick up his son, but it was his time to have his kid. But the girl was there. The baby mama was there with the boyfriend, and they got there before him. And the boyfriend is holding the hand, and he went up to him, was getting ready to let loose on him, and he had a gun. And I saw it. So when he calmed down, I gave him some numbers of some people to call. And I told him to call me when he calmed down, and then he and I talked for a long time. Situation like that, he had a little bit of the money saved up, but he didn't know what to do. He was frustrated. He about to kill his woman and him, right? So he let me know now what he got. He got damn near 50-50 as well, but he paid a lot of money. But he had a lot of money just laying around because he used to sell dope. But he wasn't selling it then. He did his time, did his bid, came out, still had some money left over, and he used a lot of that money on attorneys. So for me, I would say it just depends on what the circumstance is, right? Generally, like I said, if all being equal being, you got a belligerent, determined a baby mama versus you with your money, get that shit up, and you might don't waste your time. Don't spend as much money as I did. Don't do it, especially if she lives in Chicago. Don't do it. You cut your losses. If you've been going through this for like a few years, I'm probably gonna say cut your losses. You know, if you're dealing with a chick that's just gonna be just thirsty for your money, she got 2 and 3 other kids, cut your losses. So if she just got one, just you two, and you got one kid, if you might be able to get that 50-50 or close to it, you know, if you do the right things. And the reason why
it depends on the judge, man. See, a lot of times it depends on the judge, the courts,
yep.
Where you at, the county, and everything else, man. Because 9 out of 10, these judges is not for the man.
Yeah, it's going to be 50-50, but it depending upon the level and determination of the woman, and I have to stress that. If she doesn't really have a lot of determination, you know, if she's one of these thoughts who just really want to go party and all that, you can kind of take advantage of that. Especially if you're a guy who want to have his kids, she'll probably give up a little.
Yeah, because she want to be out and be a hoe hop. Yeah.
She want to be out and be a hoe, right?
Right.
But if she got more than 1 and 2 and 3, she got other kids, she got babies by other guys. Dude, give it up, man. Don't even go down that road.
Give it up.
But you got baby mama tears who got good jobs and degrees and everything else that don't necessarily run around hoe hop that are still try to set you over failure. Like you said, it depends on the situation and who they are.
And those types, you definitely want to get them up. Because they got
that's why I wash my hands.
They got that strong and independent spirit. And
you know what?
No.
Let me tell you what I learned about I agree, but let me tell you what I learned about a baby mama tear, so-called independent. You telling me that you so independent, but you take my child support. To me, if you independent, then you'll say, fuck that child support. I don't want it. Let me take y'all child support. You going about your business. So until you take a man off child support, don't holler independent goddamn thing. Because if you getting child support or whatever else you getting from daddy over there with the government, don't come to me to my independent. You ain't independent motherfucker thing. See, that's that horse logic that they speak of. They independent, they doing their own thing, but yet you take this man child support, but he's a deadbeat. And people use deadbeat loosely. Yeah, so that's what made me ask, what is the real definition of a deadbeat? How's he a deadbeat and you got him alienated? How's he a deadbeat and he's paying his child support?
Well, you know,
I'm just saying how to use the word deadbeat so loosely. Yeah. I know it's full of shit.
Yeah,
it's full of shit. It's full of shit.
A deadbeat is whatever they say it is.
Right.
You know, if
he broke up with me, you a deadbeat because he broke up with me.
Yeah, whatever they say it is.
Right.
Whatever they say it is.
And then other horses go along with it. Yeah, he is a deadbeat. He broke up with you. Yeah, he's a deadbeat. Yeah, of course. That's why I tell people nowadays, ain't no such thing as a deadbeat dad. Unless you call it these deadbeat moms. It's more deadbeat moms than there's deadbeat dads.
Absolutely.
Lee, that's a fact. That's a fact.
They deadbeats and the goddamn children live with them.
They got primary custody and they deadbeat moms.
Yep. Deadbeats and the kid living right in the house with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they still deadbeat ass mamas Like I don't
and
know what.
and that's why one of the pages. That's one of the reasons why the pages was created to
You know,
expose these baby mama
women have a.
terrorists.
I don't know the exact percentage. I think Ms. Palmer, you probably may know, but in terms of percentages, there are more deadbeat women who are paying child support percentage wise than there is
Well,
deadbeat men
but
who are
but
paying
but
child
you know
support.
what? I don't know how it is now, but before what it was, 85% men paid child is on child support, right? And 15% of women at the time was paying child support. I was told it went up, but 15% was on child support and non-custodial, but only half of the 15% was paying the child support, and they
See,
didn't go to jail. They didn't
see,
go to jail, and they won't put them in jail. They treat them differently, even if you. I know fathers who got sole custody who fought for child support for that woman, and some of them judges will sit back and say, "Why would you want to do that? Don't you see what she going through? Don't you see she got issues? Why you want to do her like that?" And then there's some that they owe child support, they ain't been paying, and the judge don't do nothing about it. And you telling me that this is not a gender biased system?
Yeah, it's
see that
never.
that's the heavy that's the heavy thing there.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
See,
Well, men,
but
we are expendable.
of course
Um,
we are.
they see us all disposable. We're disposable. We're expendable. You know, we are the people. We are the contributors, and
Right.
everyone else is the consumers. So their deal is to try to make you contribute as much as they possibly can. They don't give a fuck about the consumption. What they care about is the contribution. And being that men are the contributors, they are more concerned with the man's contribution as opposed to the context of a woman's consumption, whether or not she's using their money for the kid or any of that shit. None of that shit matters. They are concerned with the contribution. And men are the contributors, and that's all they see men as. So if you try to go beyond anything more than being a contributor, that's a problem. You shouldn't be bitching and moaning about seeing your kid. You shouldn't be bitching and moaning about visitation. You shouldn't be bitching and moaning about different degrees of custody. Just write this check, shut the fuck up.
That's
That's
all they
your
want you to
job.
do.
Yeah,
Shut
write
your
this
mouth and
check.
that's it.
Yeah, write this check and shut up. That's it. We don't care if you see the kid or not. Just
They
make sure
don't
you
care.
write that guy. Just make sure you write that goddamn check.
Exactly. And that right. And you know what? A lot of people I don't know if y'all up on Nietzsche X. She
Uh-huh.
she
Yeah,
she
I
got
know
on
what she is.
YouTube.
Yeah,
She okay, now check this out. Now I watch her. I've been watching her for a
she's here
while
in Chicago
because
too.
she what?
Say she's here
She
in
from
Chicago
Detroit.
too. Oh,
Oh, she
she's
is?
yeah. I thought she was in Chicago.
No.
I think,
She born she's from Detroit and she lives out in Colorado somewhere. But
okay.
I've been watching her for a while now, and she always, I'm with the pro black and being for our people. But she finally had the reality when it comes to a baby mama terrorist. If you go on her page, she did two videos some days ago. Her son has been locked up for about over 5 years. I think he got 10 years in jail. He got a kid by this baby mama terrorist. They was together, and while he was locked up, she had a kid by somebody else, of course, whole hop and everything. She had the grandbaby. She got the paperwork where she said, okay, you could take her for the summer, blah blah blah. This baby mama terrorist called the police on her. She did a whole video about an hour and a half. Listen to all that. She called the police on her and had two police say that she kidnapped my daughter. All because, all because now this dude in jail locked up. He decided, hey, I don't want to be bothered with you no more. I guess he in a relationship. She met some chick that's through her. I don't know, but he in another relationship while he's locked up, and because of that, she don't want him to be around to be a father. She don't want her to be around, be the grandmother. So what she do? She called her daughter, make her feel bad, and manipulate her, saying that don't be over there liking them because they all against me, and you should want to come home with me and all that stuff, and calling and threatening everything else. So she finally got the reality check that a lot of these black women are the right hands of white supremacy because they are so quick to talk about men who don't protect their queens when these are the queens who set these black men for failure. And she finally had to come with that realization, and she called out all the bullshit with these baby mama terrorists do. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta find that one.
All
I
right,
gotta
cuz.
watch that one.
Yeah, well, I'm about to wrap this up. I appreciate you brothers coming on tonight, man. This was good shit tonight.
Yes, sir.
And any parting shots before we peel out?
Yeah, I give mine. Let Mr. Palmer get get the last word. Look, for all you brothers that's listening, man. Like I said, for you married guys, get that posting up, man. Get that posting up. Make it more centric for child care, force, and parenting time. Get that before while things are good. So like Mr. Palmer said, while
Exactly.
things are good, get it now. Okay, that
Exactly.
way that'll save you a lot of headache, man. That'll say I know you may be saying, well, she'll never do that. She may not, but at least
Bullshit.
you'll have that. At least you'll
Don't
have it tucked
don't
away
chance
in
it.
your files and all that, and you ain't got to worry about it, man. And you two can go on and live life together, and if nothing ever
Right.
happens, nothing ever happens. You know what I mean? But if
Better be
it
safe than
does,
sorry.
right? But I rather have it and not need it, and need it and not have it, as they say.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So look, brothers, and look for you young brothers, man. Stay away from these from these American women, man. In particular, Black American women. Stay away. Don't marry them. Don't date them. Don't fuck them. Find you somebody foreign, and if you can't, then keep your dick to yourself until you can, because it ain't number problems. I promise you, it ain't number problems. All right. And look, I have no problem with giving anybody any advice because I always do, especially on this matter here. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm saying that's all I got, brother.
All right. I appreciate you coming on, brother, man. We gotta do this again, brother.
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Um, the only thing I want to say, I appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all that supporting the page. For y'all that don't know, I'm also on YouTube, youtube.com/ Mr. Palmer, FCK Child Support. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, uh, FCK Child Support. Also, you can like the page on Facebook, Fuck Child Support.
Post your
Um,
links. Post your links.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I'll do that.
put all your information, in the chat room and all that kind of stuff. Y'all get on down there, support the brother. Jump on his pages, check him out. I watched a few of his videos. He does some good shit. Go ahead and support him and check him out, man. I mean, cause I know a lot of brothers have been through this. A lot of brothers are going through this stuff now, and a lot of brothers will go through this shit in the future. So, this is one thing we need to stick together on, because trust me, the motherfucking mamas are so sticking together on it. So, the brothers need to stick together on this one. I'm just
Exactly,
saying, stick together on this one.
exactly.
We can't
When
come to agreement on anything. We need to come to agreement on this child support and custody shit, because we all gonna be facing the
exactly,
same bullshit. We all face the
exactly,
same bullshit, you know.
exactly.
But
What I
go ahead.
oh, I'm just saying, hey, what we got to do, fellas, we just got to come together as one. We got to call these baby mama terrorists out and expose this unjust system, and we got to change the laws in our mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, we got to be thinkers and not reactors. And just like my man say, don't be sticking your dick in these baby mama terrorist whores. And you got to definitely, if you can, while things are going good, that's when you start putting the paperwork out there. That's when they're gonna do whatever you say. Cause when shit gets bad, they ain't gonna even talk to you. They're gonna set you up for failure. You know what I'm saying? And call it out. Don't hold it in. Don't hold it inside. You got a lot of brothers you can talk to that can relate to you. You're not alone. That's a lot of men problem. They think they're alone and they ain't got nobody to talk to. And I do not want to see another brother set themselves up for failure because of a baby mama terrorist. So y'all just stay in tune with me. I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the links in the description and in the box. And hey man, let's get it. Let's make change.
Absolutely. You got to come back, man. You got to come back, man. You're always welcome up here on
Oh,
the
anytime, bro.
T.P.O.T YouTube page. All right. I appreciate y'all brothers tonight, man. I do.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Me, I'm gonna close out like this because I went through a lot of this bullshit, a long time ago, and from what I've seen and heard, you know, uh, over the last say 5 to 10 years, that not much has changed from when I was going through it. I mean, I went through this shit 20 years ago. Y'all all know my story. I've told it many, many times. I fought for custody of my daughter, eventually got custody of my daughter. Jumped through a lot of hoops though. Had to go through a lot of bullshit. Some of the bullshit you heard tonight from Brother Palmer and Brother Perfect Blackness. Man, I had to jump through some bullshit hoops, and it wasn't like, I was this deadbeat street dude with nothing going on. Nah, because I've always been a working man. I mean, I've always worked. Shit, probably shit. Had a pretty decent amount of money stored up. I had my own place, my own car, good job. I had all that shit. And they still made me go through hoops and shit. My daughter's mother was doing all kinds of bullshit. They didn't give a fuck about that. They did not care. They didn't care. You know? I'm thinking to myself, shit, the fucking people from the courts, these social workers, shit, they could have walked in the house and she could have been in there smoking crack and took the crack pipe and handed it to the goddamn social worker. That still wouldn't have, that still wouldn't have made things any better for me. It wouldn't have. Wouldn't have made it any better for me. No matter how much money I had, no matter how I was living, nothing. But guess what? Nowadays, the shit's the same. I would have thought it had improved. Now, I'm of the mind that we as men, right? We make a lot of bad decisions, right? And some of the bad decisions we make is sticking our penis in some old ratchet hole with no rubber on it. Now, I'm known to say, I won't hold that against you. I won't. I won't hold that against you. But what I will hold against you is if you let this old ratchet hole raise the kid. Now, we spoke tonight on many different levels, and we talked about how these women make it so hard for some of these brothers to be in these children's lives. And it's crazy because when you get a brother like Perfect Blackness who does what they want to do and do things the right way and work and love their child and want to be in the child's life, those are the brothers who have the most problems. But if you have a brother who don't give a shit about the kid, don't come around, don't do shit for the kid, they're practically running with the goddamn baby, chasing the dude with the kid. Now just think about that. Think about what sense that makes. You got a brother who works hard, wants the child, would probably take the child if he could, does what he can for the child, pays his child support, everything he does, he's thinking about his child, where he lives, how he lives, where he works, how he spends his money. It's all based on the child. This dude has to hop through hoops, jump hurdles, go through all kinds of bullshit and court proceedings and all kind of nonsense just to see the kid. But if you got a brother who don't give a shit about that kid, don't even come see that kid, let alone provide for that kid or buy anything for that kid or pay attention to anything concerning that kid. These hoes are practically chasing this dude down, talking about, you need to come see your baby. You need to come see your daughter. You need to come see your son. How the fuck is that? So if the man loves the kid and wants the kid, he got to chase you. Hop through hoops and go to court hearings to see the kid. But if he a dude who don't give a shit about the kid, you chasing him, telling him he need to come see his daughter. He need to come see his son. And y'all wonder why I talk about these old mamas the way I do. Because in reality, man, they don't give a fuck about these kids, y'all. They don't. It's not about the kid. It's about the dude. I'm a true believer of that shit. They would give the kid up if you would stay. They'd rather have you there than the kid there. You told one of them hoes, look here, I know we got this baby, but put this baby up for adoption. Let's go ahead and get this baby to my mama. Let's go ahead and get this baby to your mama. These hoes would do it. They would do it. I'm telling you, they would. Because most of the time, the problem is this so-called baby mama drama, man. It ain't got shit to do with the baby, man. It's got to do with her. It's got to do with you. It's about torturing you. It's about fucking with you. It's about her fucking extracting whatever vengeance she thinks she can extract from you. Because, see, you did her wrong. You left. You don't want her no more. You done find somewhere else to put your penis. That's what's going on. You heard Brother Perfect Blackness tonight. He went through the same shit I went through. I always had access to my kid, man. As long as she thought I was sitting around missing her ass. As long as she thought I was sitting around missing putting my dick in her. As long as she thought I was sitting in my place miserable, wondering what she was doing, thinking about her. But once she got that evidence that wasn't the case, you done found somebody else. She see that other woman car outside. She looked through that window. See that other woman walk around in there. Yeah. That's when the shit starts. Because it was never about the kid, man. It was about you. Why you think she treats the kid so bad? It's not about the kid. It's about you. She's taking out her frustrations with you on the child. That's what's happening. They will never admit it. They will never cop to it. Your baby mama, your sisters, your grandmama, your old mammy. Y'all know. Some of your old mamas did it to your daddy. That's why I tell brothers, if you grew up, man, and your father wasn't really in your life, now that you're an adult, before you start hating that man's still alive and you can find him, go talk to that man. Listen to his story. I bet you it ain't the same story that your old mammy done told you. Because she'll tell you any motherfucking thing. She'll try to get you to hate your old man for the rest of your life and hers if she can. These women are they are so deep in this fucking illusion, man, of power and control over somebody, man. That's all it is. Because these hoes don't believe that you ever gonna grow up. They don't believe they ass ever gonna get old. And for some reason, they think they can continue to live this lie and will try to force you to live it too. And when it all comes down to it, man, it's not really about you, brother. You're doing the right thing. You love your kid. You want your kid. It ain't about you. She's making it about you. Pretending under the guise of it being about your child. It's not about any of that, man. It's about her. It's about her fucking failures. She knows she's a failure. She's a failure. And to hide that failure, she's not just going to convince your child that you're a deadbeat, the courts that you're a deadbeat, you that you're a deadbeat. She even convinces herself that you're a deadbeat, even when she knows it's not true. She failed. She failed at keeping you around. And she's jealous because you love the kid more than you love her black ass. You love the kid. You don't love her anymore. That's the problem. She's fucking jealous. She's jealous that even though you don't want her ass no more, you still love the hell out of that baby. And boy, she just can't get her head wrapped around the fact that you could love this little child and not love her ass. And that's what it all boils down to. How dare you love this kid, but don't want me? Easy. We can do it easy as men. Of course, we love our children. Even though we don't want shit to do with they black ass mammies. But they just can't figure that out. They can't figure it out. You know, that whole package deal goes to their head. Because, see, with women, it works both ways. You know how that go, y'all. Now, you got those women who got babies and shit, and oh, you got to love me and my kids. But see, if you're the father of those kids, they flip it around. You can't just love the kids. You got to love the kids and me. You see how that shit is? If you just some Negro that she met, you got to love her and her kids. But see, if you're the father of her kids, you have to love the kids and her. Because if not, she's going to make your life hell. Especially if she's one of these old mamas. Which she probably is. You know, you around, you there, you know, she got to pretend to love the kid. You know, she'll pretend to love the kid as long as you're in her life. But once you leave, that's it. She doesn't have to pretend anymore. And what it comes down to is what you see when these women do this shit, when they change like that, as far as those kids are concerned, the veil's been lifted. This is how she was all along. This is her. This is her. It just took you not wanting her black ass no more for it to be revealed. That's just the truth. I'm just saying. But anyway, appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Good shit. Appreciate Brother Palmer and Brother Perfect Blackness coming in here, dropping some wisdom on us about this child support and custody shit. We're gonna have to do this again. Some programming notes. Next week's debate is already booked. Next Wednesday, debate night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the T.P.O.T. YouTube page. Mr. Fantastic is back. It's been a while since Mr. Fantastic been up here debating, but Brother Fantastic will be back, and he will be throwing down with Brother D.X.L. And next week they will be debating, should more brothers become red pill? That's right. Should more brothers become red pill? More brothers become red pill, I should say. Yeah, next Wednesday it's on. Like I said, Brother Fantastic is back, and he will be debating Brother D.X.L. I'm pretty sure y'all know D.X.L. He's one of those rising YouTubers up here on the scene, and everybody knows who Brother Fantastic is. So make sure you have your black behinds here next Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the T.P.O.T. YouTube page. You know. Also, I want to talk to y'all, man, about this coronavirus shit for a few minutes, man. I hope y'all are being safe out there. I hope you're doing what you got to do. I hope you're washing your hands. Hoping you're keeping yourself clean and keeping your living quarters clean and staying away from folks, and don't be letting folks breathe on you, cough on you, sneeze on you. Be careful touching them doors and counters, shit like that in stores. Because, see, they're about to open this shit back up. All right? I know here where I am. Tomorrow, shit opens back up. Not everything, but a lot of things. So people got cabin fever. They've been cooped up, not been able to do anything for a while. So I imagine the streets gonna be full of folks. People gonna be everywhere. Traffic is gonna be a mess. That's why I'm glad I take Fridays off, so I don't have to deal with these motherfuckers tomorrow. But I may have to deal with them on Saturday. So now that they're starting to open these cities and towns and states up, I want y'all to be careful, man. Put a mask on your goddamn face, man. All right? If nothing else, put a mask on your face when you're going to be around folks. Avoid folks as much as possible. Because, see, the most dangerous people aren't the people who know they have this shit. All right? The most dangerous people are the people who don't know they have it. The motherfuckers who walking around asymptomatic, ain't shit wrong with them, but they still walking around, giving it that fucking body. So at the very least, man, protect yourself from those folks. And who knows, you might be one of them folks yourself. Shit, I may have the shit and don't even know I got it. So wouldn't it be better to keep myself covered so I ain't giving it to other folks? Don't that make more sense? I want y'all to get through this, folks. I want us to get through this. I want to continue to come up here and talk shit to y'all and have y'all listen. But I can't do that if your ass done fell dead from COVID-19. So make sure you don't do that. All right? All right. Now then. Yeah, man. Good talk tonight. Good shit tonight. I hope y'all got something out of it. We might do a debate Saturday. It's a possibility. Don't hold me to it because I never know. I usually don't know until Friday evening some fucking time. So, don't hold me to that. But I mean, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all good folks, man, for coming through. I appreciate all these good folks here in this here chat. All right. But most importantly, I appreciate you, man. And I want to thank you for sticking around and watching us, spending some time with us up here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. But what I need you to do now is get your black behinds down to Facebook. The Facebook page is Prophet of Thought Series on Facebook. That's Prophet of Thought, one word, series, another word, on Facebook. That's our main page. It's a community page. Go ahead, like the page, share the page, follow the page. You can also catch up with old X down there. All you got to do is drop me a line. I'm guaranteed to get back to you within 24 and 168 hours. Also, while you're on Facebook, get down to the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page. That's the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Go ahead, request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get in there quick. I'm an admin on the page now. I keep boasting about that because it's only been like a month and a half. I had the page for like 4 years, but goddamn it, I just became an admin like 2 months ago or some shit. Yeah, go ahead, request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get in there quick. It's a fan group page. There's plenty of people down there posting and shit like that. So you ain't just gotta listen to old X run his mouth all the time. There's other fools down there running their mouth too. If you have any problems getting in the group, just drop me a line. I'll make sure you get in there. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's Prophet of Thought. Leave out the series on Instagram. Go ahead, follow us on Instagram. You are guaranteed to get a follow back. And we're going to end the night like this. Get your black behind down to Twitter. The Twitter handle is at T.P.O.T Media. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Go ahead, follow us on Twitter. Because if you don't, I will haunt your old black ass mama in her dreams for the next 6 months. But once again, I want to thank everybody, man, for coming out, man. It's always good to be up here with you good folks. No, I don't have a Patreon, Brother Perfect Blackness. I'm thinking about starting one. Well, actually, I do. That's not true. I do have a Patreon that I had built a while back. I had built it. It's called the Panty Dropper series, where I was telling stories. I was telling these stories, like these 50 Shades of Grey stories, for the ladies type shit. And I would put videos up there, people like the OGJ Speed came on one night, and he was talking all this kind of shit, about the ladies and shit, those kind of videos, I would put up there. But I don't even fuck with that Patreon no more. I haven't put shit up there for months. I mean, I haven't had time to fuck with it. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and get that back started, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do a Patreon for this at some point when I have time. That's probably going to be some months down the fucking road, because my work schedule is way too heavy to do too much more than what I do now. But, we'll see. But anyway, yeah. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man. And also, I appreciate Brother Perfect Blackness and Mr. Palmer. Make sure you get down there and check Mr. Palmer out, man. Check out his channel and all of that. Get on down there, subscribe, and follow him on Facebook. I want to get the brother back here at some point, because we need to talk about this child support and custody shit, man. Because, like I said before, man, this is something that many of us brothers can relate to, man. If we're not going through it now, if we won't be going through it in the future, some of us have went through it in the past, man. And I think this is a common link for all of us brothers. So we need to stick together on this one. All right. All right. So with that, I will leave you with 3 words, like I always do.
Open your mind.
The prophet of thought.
Peace, folks.
Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.
Only from the Prophet of Thought series media.
Open your minds.